Games going to be streaming a Pokemon trading card game league challenge here tonight. Excited about this. Got a bunch of friends out there playing. Going to be competing. It's a 5-round tournament. So we've got 17 Masters players competing for top honors at our league challenge tonight. It's going to be expanded format. So a lot of players are really just testing the waters expanded. I think a lot of our league members, this might be their first expanded tournament ever. Some of our league players are going to be traveling to the Anaheim Regional Championships this weekend. So we've got a lot of talent out there going to be testing their tournament decks tonight in preparation for the big regional championships this weekend at Anaheim. So stoked about that. Round one, I've got my buddy Otto on stream. You guys might know Otto from Tricky Jim channel. He's always featured on there. He's got a lot of crazy deck ideas. He is playing a Zoroark GX deck, Zoroark Garbodor today against Jesse Parker. So we're going to go ahead, hop on over there, check them out. Not exactly sure what Jesse is playing today, but we will see. I know that Otto's Zoroark deck is playing Garbodor in it, and then he may also have some Giratina from the newest set, Lost Thunder, in there as well, and Skyfield. So we're going to be loading our bench up full of Pokemon. Skyfield allows you to have 8 bench Pokemon in play. Should see some big benches there from Otto's side. Looking forward to seeing how this deck performs. And Jesse Parker, like I said, still trying to figure out what Jesse's playing. So looks like players are getting started now, and we should be up and rolling here any moment. 5-round tournament, no top cut. League challenges are just single round Swiss tournaments. So we've got single round Swiss, 5 rounds, no top cut, and they are getting started. We see Jesse checking out the aluminum GX counter that we got there. Jesse's got a nice GX counter himself there, a nice wooden one, very cool. And I think Otto is looking to have a pretty explosive start. This deck that he is playing plays multiple copies of Shaman EX and just tries to blow through its deck, only playing 4 copies of double colorless energy. There are no sort of auxiliary energies in this deck. We see Jesse is playing Greninja Break. Wow, so Greninja Break on Jesse's side should be a wild matchup. I do not think that this matchup is super favorable for Zoroark. Both players have a mulligan there, so they're going to shuffle back up. Don't think that this is a great matchup for Zoroark, but Otto does have that Garbodor, which should help with the whole giant water shuriken situation. Thank you, Tama Drummer, for the bits, and thank you, Natalie, for hanging out in the chat with us and helping to moderate this stream. This should be a great tournament tonight. I know a lot of players were looking forward to this. Players were picking up their expanded cards all week, looking for various expanded decks to play. I myself have been testing expanded format because I'm going to be traveling to the Anaheim Regional Championships this weekend. Really, really stoked on that. It's my birthday weekend, so it should be a great time. Turning 30 years old, man. 30 years young. It's going to be crazy. So super stoked about that. Anaheim should be a good time. Went there for the World Championships not too long ago, a couple years ago. It was definitely a good time. Let's see. All right, players are getting set up. We'll see who is on the draw first. Thank you all for hanging out here in the chat, joining us today. Otto has got a great start with Tapu Koko. Jesse starting that Ditto Prism Star. Very cool inclusion in a Greninja deck. Something that we haven't seen from Greninja Break yet. Ditto Prism Star is a great, great addition to the cast in Greninja. Just giving you a 5th out to start Froakie. Fantastic. And can also just sit on the bench. And if you do get a Frogadier knocked out, potentially with a splash energy or something like that, you can just drop the Frogadier right back down onto that Ditto Prism Star to keep up the momentum. Otto on the right is going to be playing Zoroark Garbodor. That Tapu Koko is just a one of, and a very fortunate starter, going to allow Otto to kind of pivot wherever he wants to from here. And a lot of times, honestly, Otto may decide to just like Sky Return turn 1, something like that. If he has a Shaman in his hand, he may bridge it, and then, with the Tapu Koko, he can apply that extra pressure with Sky Return. I highly doubt that he's going to have any issue knocking out a Ditto Prism Star. However, with that water energy on the Ditto, we do kind of consider that could get knocked out by a Tapu Lele. So that's an option as well. I do see double colorless energy in Otto's hand. He doesn't need that water energy in order to take the knockout with Tapu Lele. Ditto's only got 40 hit points, but it is an option. See a Froakie come down from Jesse and a Cynthia. I imagine that Jesse will be looking to retreat that Ditto Prism Star to get it out of harm's way. I'm not sure if Otto is playing a Professor Kukui in his list. He might be, and he could take the knockout with the Tapu Koko. That's a potential possibility as well, though I'm sure Otto will probably be looking for a Bridget or a Professor Elm's Lecture. Pretty interesting to see a lot of players still favoring to play Professor Elm's Lecture in some circumstances in expanded format, even though Bridget does just search out 3 of any basic type Pokemon. Elm's Lecture is unique in that it brings them to your hand instead, so it is good for searching out cards like Klefki, which you will see that Otto plays as well. And sure enough, Otto does go for the turn 1 Tapu Koko, or turn 1 Professor Kukui. I'm sure that's not exactly what he wanted. However, Jesse did not retreat that Ditto, so Otto will be able to take a turn 1 knockout here, being very aggressive with that Tapu Koko. He's got the double colorless energy in hand, a Zorua on the bench. He would obviously like to set up with a little bit more Zoruas. However, I think his hand is looking pretty sparse right now. He's got the dowsing machine, so he can use Professor Kukui again next turn, but he doesn't have anything else going on. Fortunately, he was able to get that Zorua down, and does have a Zoroark GX in his hand though. So he will be able to start trading next turn, and hopefully he'll find a Battle Compressor or something like that so that he can throw maybe a supporter card into the discard pile and fetch it with his dowsing machine. We see Jesse go in for a dive ball, grabs that Frogadier. He's got a water in his hand. Does he have a draw supporter? I see a choice band and a random receiver. Random receiver is really cool in Greninja Break, just kind of boosts the consistency of the deck overall. Very funny card. Oh, it's not random receiver, it's N, excuse me. It was another green card. I thought that was a random receiver. It's just an N, much more conservative. I was going to say, I haven't seen random receiver in Greninja in a long time. But N is definitely a much more stable maneuver there. A lot of times with Greninja, you'll want to just sit on your hand with the Frogadier, though, because you don't want to actually draw into any more Frogadiers. If Jesse draws in to additional Frogadier off of this draw, he won't be able to search them out with water duplicates. And of course, Otto does not mind an N at all. Actually is very favorable for him. His hand was not good. So long as he draws into a Zoroark or a supporter card, he should be totally fine. We're going to take a look at Jesse's deck here. He's got the Evo Soda as well, so he can go get that Starmie, which is very clutch for this deck. Just being able to Space Beacon and search out water energies every single turn from the discard pile. So definitely a clutch inclusion there. Seen him scan through his deck once, though, twice, and I don't see the Starmie pulled out. So either he's prized it or he's just doing a deck search, a thorough deck search. So we'll see what he's got going on in his deck. I think he doesn't have it. I think he failed. He's going to play the Silent Lab, so he failed that Evo Soda, and we'll go on to water duplicates. He does not have the Starmie in deck. That's going to be big. He's going to be looking to try and pull that out of his prizes, hopefully sooner rather than later. Unfortunately, though, Greninja does take a few turns to set up and start to take prizes. We see him only grab 2 Frogadier, so he either prized one. I've got to imagine that he did prize one copy of Frogadier here and then doesn't have a splash energy on his active. So that means he's not going to be immediately bringing that Frogadier back to his hand when it gets knocked out. This is a bummer for Jesse. I feel like whenever I play against Greninja, they always have all 4 Frogadier out turn 2. Only having 3 is a big difference. Also prizing that Starmie is a big deal as well. Otto's going to respond immediately with a Sky Field to get that annoying Silent Lab out of the way. Silent Down shuts down all basic Pokemon's abilities, so it would be very disruptive. It would stop Otto's Shamans from working. It would stop Tapu Lele from working. Very disruptive indeed. Otto's going to opt just to go for the Sycamore here. Very aggressive draw from Otto. He had a Bridget in that hand, and he could have continued to set up a little bit more. Not exactly sure how I feel about that. I think that he could have potentially afforded to go one more turn, maybe Bridget, and I think he's looking like he might have got burned for that. He did not find another Zorua off of his Sycamore, and I don't think that he even found a Zoroark. If he found a Zoroark, he would have slapped that down into play immediately. He's scanning his hand over and doesn't actually see any other options. He's just going to have to go in with a Tapu Koko. Got JW coming in now. JW, you seem to be done very early. Is this
fresh off a win?
Is this good news then? Yes.
Yeah, it is good news. Yeah, I
Excellent.
took a Durant to town.
Well, I'm really glad that I didn't put you on stream then. This would have
Yeah,
been...
no, he just didn't draw anything. Yeah, it was pretty sad.
Because I was considering putting you as the stream match, and that would have just been...
He just didn't draw anything. It looked actually really good when on his first supporter he played Handiwork, and he milled 2 of my Versus Seeker. So it was like really good.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shoot, I'm going to lose. And then he hammered off an energy, and I'm like, oh shoot, I'm going to lose.
Right.
And then he devoured, and he hit another energy, and I'm like, I
Whoa,
actually might lose.
Right.
But it
You just
out.
stabilized and
I
were
just
able to take
stabilized,
knockouts
and then
every
he
turn.
just,
yeah,
and then he just didn't do anything. So
exactly.
it was all
So that's good. All right. Otto just made a very aggressive play here. He went in for a Sycamore turn 2, and he had a Bridget in his hand. He didn't Bridget turn 1. He just had a Professor Kukui and knocked out Jesse's Ditto Prism Star in the active turn 1. But then turn 2, instead of going for Bridget, just went for the Sycamore. He'd gotten end into this hand with Bridget and Sycamore. Went for the Sycamore.
He's getting rid of an Ultra Ball.
Is he? Well, right now he just Battle Compressor. He Battle Compressor the Giratinas, and
Ultra
now
Balls
he's
are like the best card. One of the best cards.
Did
in the
he
deck.
ditch an Ultra Ball with Battle Compressor?
Yeah.
I don't know if I actually agree with that, but you know, it's okay. Hey, that's all good. Welcome, Dankus, to the chat. Welcome, everybody to the chat. Thank you guys for hanging out. Wednesday night streams here at Full Grip Games. And then Otto does have Dowsing Machine. Oh, he Battle Compressored the Ultra Ball so that he could Dowsing for the Ultra Ball and then go from there. So that makes sense. He had a game plan.
I understand now.
All along. That is very good. So Otto is going to be using, use the Dowsing Machine, got an Ultra Ball, gonna Ultra Ball away the Egg and a Choice Band. Definitely doesn't need Choice Bands in this matchup. I was talking about this matchup. Do you think that the Garbodor is enough in this matchup, you think?
Yeah, I think so.
You think so?
I think so. Because you're just putting up a ton of pressure with your Zoroark. And I mean, look at this. Like, he's going to take a prize. He's spreading on everything here. I think, like, his build specifically, I think it's enough.
You think it's enough? I do like that the Giratinas are sniping all of the Frogadiers. That will be a lot of pressure to deal with on Jesse's side. Bringing all those Greninja breaks, the potential Greninja breaks down to just 150 hit points instead of having 170 is a big deal.
Yeah.
Because it's just one less Pokemon he'll need to find. Jesse has already shown that he's playing Silent Lab, so he plans on making that a factor throughout the course of the game as well. Otto's going to go in and aggressively draw here with the Shaman. We see that Zoroark, which is very good. Another Zorua would definitely solidify his board. Yeah. So let's see. Scanning his deck. He's playing another Battle Compressor. So that's the second Battle Compressor. I find that the second Battle Compressor in the Zoroark decks, I don't really find that I need it. Like I don't know that it's totally necessary.
Good. It's so good.
I mean, you just need one.
But it's good early game.
It is good
and
early
it's good
game.
late game. So it's like, it's good at
Finally.
any time. It's like a great card.
I find that whenever I find the second one, I'm like, I guess I'll play it. And then I find maybe like one card, I guess I'll ditch. It's just,
Yeah,
all
all your tech supporters.
anything else.
Whatever.
All your tech supporters.
All your tech, Pokemon, whatever.
Uh-huh.
Just get rid of them.
I know. Otto was talking to me about potentially only playing 3 Versus Seeker before the...
I think he is only playing 3 versus 6.
Well, then the second Battle Compressor makes even less sense.
Well, fair enough. Fair enough.
But that's
Touché.
that's just my opinion. I'm giving Otto a hard time because Otto and I are really good friends. We talk about decks all the time. So not exactly sure. We're back and forth on the second Battle Compressor. I do like 2 Battle Compressor. It is just a very good consistency card. We'll see Otto go in for that trade there with the Execute.
Yeah, the big thing here is that he's taking out the Staryu. Like, the Starmie is how, this Greninja Break deck gets a lot of its cycling of energy. And, usually they find themselves energy starved and, after they get set up. And, that could be huge. I mean, and it's also, the other thing that I also like is if he doesn't knock out the Koko this turn, and then assuming he doesn't evolve his Greninjas on the bench, I mean, he's putting some pressure on those Frogadiers as well.
For sure. And you missed this, you just walked in, but Jesse actually already revealed he did prize his Starmie. He went to Evo Soda for the Starmie and failed it.
Okay.
Yeah, I was looking through. So doesn't have that Starmie as an option. Even if he pulls it off the prize, Otto is going to be going in and taking the knockout there. So it's going to be very good. We've got somebody, Tama Drummer here, shouting you out, JW, in the comments.
Love
Flex Daddy Righteous.
Love it. I like that.
Right.
That's me.
JW has started streaming himself, Flex Daddy Righteous, here on Twitch. So very cool stuff. Make sure to check out his Twitch channel as well if you are interested in PTCGO.
Going to be doing a lot after Anaheim.
Yeah.
On a bit of a hiatus because I'm hanging out with my good pal here.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Yeah,
and you're finding ways to stream anyway. We're on camera right now.
Right.
So I guess you are playing, though. So what are you playing today, JW?
Well, I'm kind of playing what Otto's playing. It's just we're kind of playing a few cards different. I see the deck in a little bit of a different way, so I'm just playing it a little bit differently.
Very cool.
Yeah, straight Zoroark, pretty much. So.
Awesome. Well, we'll see about potentially getting you on camera next round, see who you're paired up against. You did win your first one here. We see Jesse evolve into Greninja there. He's got 1 Greninja and then seems to have a pretty small hand otherwise. I think he has an N, though. Yeah, I was going to say he shuffled his deck and didn't really shuffle it that much. So going back in here. With a big N. Now, I expect Jesse to just start shadow stitching.
Yeah. Okay. I was gonna ask. Are you sad that Otto didn't try to go for a Seismitoad? Does he play
go for a Quaking Punch? I don't think that he needs to go for the Quaking Punch there. I feel like spreading around to the other Greninjas feels fine. My biggest want for Otto's board was just to get that Trubbish down, and he did it. So that's fine. So I think it was a little bit greedy when he went for the Sycamore instead of the Bridget there, because he could have just Bridget. All he wanted this turn was, all he wanted was the other Trubbish, but it ended up buffing out for him. He was able to play pretty explosively out of that hand.
And I think he just realized, well, I'm not really going to be able to make full use of my Zoroarks.
I think that makes sense. So I do like the Sycamore now that I'm thinking about it. Would have been locked out with shadow stitching anyway. You kind of recognize that right off the bat. Yeah. So good stuff. He is poised to get that Garbodor out, but most Greninja decks are playing at least 2 to 3 copies of Field Blower. Garbodor is a pretty known quantity heading into the Anaheim Regional Championships. Like a lot of players are talking about Zoroark Garbodor as a best of both worlds deck. It's a deck that can take one-hit KOs, can also lock your opponent and make their cards more difficult to play with the ability locking Garbodor, can also punish them with Trash Lynch, though Otto is not playing Trash Lynch in this version. What do you think of that, JW?
I think it's fine.
It's fine?
I think you just need Zoroark. Zoroark's big enough to carry the load.
I would have to agree, though Trash Lynch is very good. It's not necessarily necessary. I think that the Garbodor in this particular build of Zoroark is taking the place of Hex Maniac in expanded format. Now without Hex, there aren't ways to get around abilities like Hoopa's Scoundrel Barrier. Is not an option to get around with Zoroark GX. Things like Aegis Slash's Shield ability.
Xurkitree
GX, right?
Suicune.
So many things.
Oh wait,
very tough to get
Suicune
around.
probably doesn't state for GXs. Never mind. Suicune's probably fine.
I have no idea what Suicune you're talking about, but
It's too old.
I was on board. So I believe it's Otto's turn. I'm not exactly sure what Otto's doing. Thank you, I'm Penguin Zombie, for the sub. Appreciate it. And thank you, Paul Semenko, for hosting me. Shout out to you guys. Appreciate the sub. Thank you for the support.
Cool.
Gonna see an N come down from Otto here.
Rip Hex, I agree.
He's going to draw 4 new cards. Going to draw 4 new cards on Otto's side. That's a pretty suboptimal supporter for a time like this. Though Otto does have enough just kind of Pokemon on his field in order to take a knockout on this active Greninja this turn because of that snipe damage already. I think the Greninja has 90 hit points left, and Otto just needs to do 90 damage. He's doing, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 140. You could knock out a clean Greninja this turn.
Now, I have a question, Andrew. I'm just looking at the board.
Sure.
What was the other Pokemon that got sniped by the Giratinas?
By that Pokemon over there?
Was it the Froakie? Because he also spread. So should that Froakie be at 40 damage?
No, because he sniped these 2 Frogadiers. That's why they're at...
Oh, he sniped both of those Frogadiers. I
Yes.
thought he had spread twice.
So they're both at 40. That Greninja, I don't know. I'm sure it's fine.
Okay,
Yeah,
I just want to make sure.
The
I was
integrity
curious.
of the match.
Yeah,
Yes,
I don't know if anyone.
It's good.
If anyone can clarify that.
It was
that'd
right
be
at the
great.
time. It was right at the time.
I mean, I'm a little late. I'm coming in halfway, so.
It was 2 Frogadiers that he had spread to.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Yes. Ooh, Otto rips the garb.
Oh, he got it though.
And just opts to Coco spread. What do you think about that, JW?
Yeah, I don't love it, but I understand why.
The Zoroark has a floatstone on it.
Well, he's putting 2 Pokemon in range for next turn for another spread. Because you know that Jesse's not going to... And by doing this, he's also preserving his own Zoroark. So you know that Jesse's not going to want to Moonlight Slash because that gives Otto his abilities back, right? So he knows that Jesse's going to hit into this with another 40 damage. And if Jesse does that and doesn't get, evolve both of his bench, then Otto's just essentially getting free prize. I mean, you're not trading too many resources. You've already put that DCE onto the Coco. It's not like you're building anything else up. By putting up the Zoroark and going in, I think that's a little bit of a weaker play because he has the splash energy. So he's just getting all that back. You're not really disrupting Jesse. You're not really taking out an attacker. But
I'd have to agree with that. Just shadow stitching Tapu Koko here without taking a knockout feels really bad.
It feels but that's all that Jesse can do, assuming he doesn't have a Guzma or anything
or a field
like
blower
or
something
blower,
like that. If he has field blower, even if he does have field blower, he's not really. What are you going to giant water shuriken and then shadow stitch the Tapu Koko? That also feels bad.
Really bad.
So I think leaving the Tapu Koko in the active position feels the best, and that also just puts Jesse on a timer here. I was going to say if he doesn't evolve this Greninja on the bench, then he's looking at a potential 2-prize loss by getting that Froakie and the Frogadier knocked out by another Flying Flip next turn. So we do see a splash energy come down from Jesse Parker. He's considering...
He does evolve. Okay. Very good.
He breaks the lock. Going to go for a Moonlight Slash to just knock out that Tapu Koko and take a prize. We do see the Starmie there, his first prize. Unfortunately, there's no Staryu on board, though, and that Garbodor lock is still very active.
I can't believe it, actually. I'm a little surprised.
Surprised at what?
I don't think I would have made that play.
What, the Moonlight Slash?
Yeah.
But he doesn't mind Moonlight Slashing
because the Garbodor's in play.
The Garbodor's in play.
Fair enough.
So he's like, Otto's not going to have the field blower and then another tool to reinstate the lock. That would be a pretty big play from Otto, especially after having just end himself to 4 the hand previous.
Right, you're right.
So I think that's a fine play from Jesse. Leaving the splash energy on the Greninja in the active position. Yeah, leaving the splash energy on his active means that he's going to be able to bring that Greninja back as well and kind of just start evolving up that fresh Froakie that he does now have on the bench.
Yeah, so Jesse really, really needs the the field blower this turn.
Oh, yeah.
Because he can do a lot of things if he gets the field blower. Of course, he's going to promote, after this gets knocked out, he'll promote the break. And
We
hope
see
to have
a dramatic look at the top deck there. And it looks like it's just a water energy. Water energies would be very good if he had his abilities. You see Jesse put that Froakie out of harm's way, though, evolving into the Frogadier, though. What do you think about the 60 hit point Froakies as opposed to the 70 hit point ones?
You know what? I don't have an opinion.
No preference.
No preference, I don't think. I mean, the bubble's pretty good.
Bubble is pretty good. That would be the argument for the 60 hit point one.
Bubble has been very good.
And
for
still
a long time.
is, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's won national championships.
Every once in a while, you need just one extra turn in a Greninja deck. Obviously, we're seeing a little bit of the weakness of that by Auto pairing together the Tapu Koko with the Giratinas there, being able to snipe some things. However, Bubble is just so good. I think you probably can't replace it with the 70 hit points.
This is good for Auto.
Froakie.
Yes.
Auto's got a fresh Zoroark.
Yep, exactly.
Yep, we see him with the ham hands here, kind of moving things around super quick.
And this is great for him, and he has another Zorua down. So I don't think his list plays any healing.
No.
So if he gets a field blower, he can potentially get rid of his own damaged Zoroark, which is going to be big. Or if Jesse makes a mistake and field blowers the sky field, then Audubon's like, great, I'm just going to ditch my own,
Do you think he gets
liability?
He gets rid of the Shaman first still. They both have about 100 hit points left. They both get knocked out by 2 giant water shurikens. The Shaman's got to go first.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Is that the second enhanced hammer we're seeing coming down from Jesse here?
And then what else?
Is that just another enhanced hammer? So the enhanced hammers are proving to be very strong, but he doesn't have too much else going on, it appears.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. He might just Moonlight Slash again.
It's probably looking like Moonlight Slash, though it is nice for Jesse to kind of be able to deny Auto that energy and then just rack up damage here. If Jesse can survive into the later game and eventually find himself a field blower, I don't know what Auto's hand is looking like. It's a little bit off camera here. But if Auto just has to start passing, then that opens up the window for Jesse to take advantage of that swing of momentum.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Couldn't agree more.
So, at this point, Jesse's only taken 1 prize, but he does have 4 more prizes kind of not mapped out on that board. He doesn't have any Greninja breaks in play right now, though, unfortunately, which is going to be a problem for him as well, especially if this active Greninja gets knocked out. He's really going to be on the back foot, only having 1 other Greninja in play. No splash energies down on these guys.
The problem with Jesse's, setup is that he's had to evolve and attack with these damaged Greninjas.
Yes.
That's been very big. If he had a Greninja break that was fresh, you're just giving yourself more turns to do things, more, damage on the field. But, Otto was, I guess really smart. I came in a little bit late, but, doing the spread, it just is helping. It's paying dividends. You're seeing how it's paying dividends.
He started the Tapu Koko. It was very strong. Yeah, for sure. Now, Otto goes for a Guzma here out of the discard pile with a Versus Seeker, but does that mean that he has an energy in hand?
No, he had an energy on the bench. So that has a Floatstone and a double colorless.
Oh, okay. I didn't see the double colorless there. Okay.
And I like this play by Otto. He could have Coal Wrist or something for a lot of cards, but I think just taking the knockout, forcing Jesse this turn to have something, and he might not.
Exactly.
It doesn't really look like Jesse has anything.
Otto only has 1 prize remaining at this point. You've got to imagine that in Jesse's kind of
brain.
I was going to say, in Jesse's quest to take his final 5 prizes, that he would be able to take 1 more prize somehow. We'll probably be able to piece together 1 final KO here. There are damaged Greninjas on board. And Jesse, of course, top deck Cynthia here. Not an N, not an Ace Trainer. Just Cynthia. Either Ace Trainer or N would be very good.
Did he evolve that on the bench, the Greninja on the bench this turn? Because I think you want the break, so you can try to get... Well, you want to evolve the one on the bench, right? Break evolve.
A break, what, the one on the bench?
Yeah, don't
Instead
you?
of the active?
Yeah.
Well, I think he wants both. Or
Unless he has like a max potion, or unless he evolved the bench this turn.
I'm not exactly sure.
You're going to attack with the bench. You want it to survive.
Well, he wants the...
So I don't understand.
He wants the break to get the ability. Ideally
Okay.
here he draws like Field Blower.
Okay, so he's going like big...
He wants the big play.
Nuts, yeah.
He
okay,
wants the big play. He wants Field Blower, 2 waters, and another break.
I understand.
That's what he wants here. I think that's his only out.
Well,
he's decided
let's
the
see
bubble
if he gets
is his
it.
only out.
Yes. But he's already attached.
Has he already attached
Yes.
this? He attached the splash.
He loses.
He concedes.
Jesse.
Otto has got it. So
Otto has done it. He's swolled up, bulked up, taking the win.
that is it. So the Garbodor there coming in pretty clutch. Jesse, I think, showing off there that his Field Blowers were in deck, but could not find them. So
Well, I would say
that's
congratulations to
gonna
the
be it.
Tapu Koko. I'm really impressed by how it
That
did in that
Tapu
match.
Koko. I was talking to you guys before the tournament, and I was like, that Tapu Koko can go.
Yeah, right.
You
I mean,
know.
I'm not playing it, but
And then I was also talking about how the Tapu Koko, like what matchups it good for.
yeah, exactly.
Apparently Greninja. It's
Apparently
okay
Greninja,
against
yeah.
Greninja. Though I do
Absolutely.
think that the Garbodor probably just pulled enough weight there. Jesse never found his Field Blowers. That was not good.
Yeah,
you know.
I mean, I don't know how many he played. You know,
Right.
That's the other thing too.
I feel like the typical Greninja thing is that they will go in and you take that first prize,
Yep.
and then it's just Ace Trainer, Shadow Stitching, and it's very hard to come back from that. We didn't see any of that on Jesse's side, unfortunately, this game. So a little bit of a slower setup and a very explosive setup there from Otto. So.
Well, I don't know if I would say explosive.
Well, turn 2, we got
Because-
the turn 2 Trubbish.
Yeah, right.
Turn 3 Garbodor.
Yeah, I don't know.
He
It
did
was
get a turn
little-
1 knockout with a Coco. That was pretty explosive.
Fair enough.
That was pretty explosive.
enough, yeah.
So, oh yes, you've got many fans here in
Oh,
the chat,
thank you, thank you.
JW.
Hello,
So make
hello.
sure to say hello here.
Yes,
All right,
yes.
JW, I have a mission for you.
Okay. What do
I
you
need you to go and ask the lovely people out there for a round 2 match that's going to be on stream.
Okay.
And then to get the names of the people playing reported back to me.
do it.
That would be great.
of course.
So thank you,
You
so
got it,
much.
Master.
Hey, chill. Appreciate it, JW. All right. So that's round 1 of our 5-round league challenge. Thank you all so much for joining us here. Just hit 75 viewers. Appreciate it. Need that 75 viewers in order to get the partner status that I am working so hard towards here. So excited about that. It's going really well. Thank you guys so much for checking out this stream. Excited about what the next 4 rounds will hold here. We've got, like I said, 17 players on a Wednesday night here for this Expanded League Challenge. And Expanded is a new format for a lot of us. A lot of us have not spent a ton of time in Expanded format. I've been playing it on Tricky Gym lately. Been showing off a lot of Expanded decks and doing some more testing myself in preparation for the Anaheim Regional Championships. But it is a format less played. There are just less expanded formats or less expanded format tournaments throughout the course of the year. And just, so it is an under-practiced format for sure, which in some ways makes it very exciting because a lot of the things in expanded format that get found out during tournament play are things that we may not have known. Like, unlike standard format, which just feels very hashed out, very rehearsed. It feels very overdone, right? Lots of players know all the decks in standard format, all the top decks. Expanded format is always just this kind of wild beast where it feels like the Wild West, I always say. It feels like the Wild West. It's just the great unknown. Natalie is apparently on her way, so that is awesome. She'll be here shortly. I kind of feel like cutting over to some PTCGO potentially, and we can crack some packs and stuff while we wait for the next round of the tournament to start here on PTCGO. So we could do that and just keep this running. Hopefully we can have a runner kind of going this entire time so I don't have to pause between rounds. I would really like that. Last time I was running this tournament by myself and had to throw the Be Right Back screen up between rounds. So being able to just do it myself with the help of a runner would be fantastic here. Now, I am very much still in the thick of trying to decide what I'm going to play for the Anaheim Regional Championships. I am testing out some Zoroark decks. I am also checking out some, I've tried Blacephalon, I've tried Lost March, I've tried Zoroark, I've tried Buzzrock. I am interested about Buzzrock a little bit. I am interested in, maybe Vespiquen. I do like Vespiquen. Blastoise, another deck that I have been trying in expanded format. Blastoise is very good as well. Let's head on over to our packs and get cracking here. I always take for granted that I just have packs, but it looks like I might have actually just opened all my packs, but I do have coins. So when I don't have packs, I do have coins. I could go trade for some older packs, so we could open some older packs here. Redeem codes, that's not what I'm doing. We could open some older packs here on PTCGO while we wait. Apparently I also got them chests I can open. Let's see, what are we gonna do here? Booster packs, go to the old stuff. See some old stuff. I can open like 10 Heart Gold, Soul Silver packs. That'd be pretty cool. Undaunted, Unleashed, Triumphant. Let's do Unleashed. I'm gonna do like 10 Unleashed packs, and we'll see what we get out of these. Maybe one day I will open enough of these Heart Gold, Soul Silver packs that we'll be able to start doing some legacy games here on PTCGO. That would be a lot of fun as well. No, Natalie, not Heart Gold, Soul. I'm doing Unleashed today. I always open Heart Gold, Soul Silver. We're gonna do some Unleashed. Apparently, I still got 800, so I only spent 2,000 there. I could still open maybe 4 more. See what we got going on here. A nice Judge, beautiful there. It's my 5th one apparently, so very cool. Would Triumphant be good? Natalie's saying Triumphant would be good. Surely there's something playable in Unleashed that I can open here. Something. It's got to be something we can get, right? Like something we can do. All right, let's see. In this next pack, we've got Super Scoop Up and a Lucario. Very cool. With Magnum Punch. And we've got, check that out, Steelix Prime. Beautiful, Steelix Prime. What a cool card. It's got that Poke Body, perfect metal. Steelix can't be affected by special conditions. Energy Stream. Search your discard pile for an extra energy card and attach it to Steelix. And Gaia Crush. I'm pretty sure there's like a Steelix Prime deck. I think that's a thing, right? I don't know. Natalie could tell me if Steelix Prime was in a deck. I feel like it's in something, but not exactly sure what it is. Anyways, on to the next one. Let's see. 8 more packs to go. Got a question from Mr. Nostrils here in the chat. Andrew, if you ever run Sightseer and Blacephalon, try to run a few Fiery Flint. They can get those energies in the discard pile very quickly. And any unused Flints are good for use with Mysterious Treasure. Very cool. So that is a neat idea there. You can Fiery Flint for 4 fire, Sightseer them away, get the fire energy accelerated to the discard pile. I do like that. Dual Ball is a good card. Saw some play in early decks there. Very cool. Dariums! Yes, welcome Dariums. Yes, who do we have, Matt?
Cody Gray and Brady Botner.
Cody Gray and Brady Botner. So when you're looking at the table, which side is Brady on?
I'll figure that out right now.
I'll figure that out?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent.
Be good to note that Cody is using my down payment.
Oh, okay.
It's my list.
So Cody Gray and Brady Botner. All right, going to be throwing these guys up here on the something. I got to throw up these. Not throw up. I need to place these names up on the stream.
Brady.
On the left is Brady?
Yeah.
All right. On the left is Brady. Thank you very much, Matt. Yes, welcome, Darium, to my chat. Thank you so much for hanging out in the stream, Kevin. Appreciate it. And yes, I have affiliate status, so donations, bits, and all that are working. But since I'm running a tournament today, we are actually going to be doing a little bit different. But yes, Darium, go ahead. Say what you got to say. Appreciate you coming to hang out. All right. I think he said that Brady was on the left. So he said Brady was on the left, right? Is that what he said? We're not playing. Oh, we're not doing Jesse Parker here. I got to edit this. This is too much to micromanage here all at the same time. All right, we got Brady Botner. And I know Brady is playing Lost March in expanded format. I think he's running a Master Ball as his ace spec. So that is, you'll wait till donation notifications to turn back on. Oh, that's okay, Darian. Love you too. Thank you for coming and hanging out anyway. We got Brady there on the left against, what do we say? Who was it? Who else did I say, guys? Brady versus Cody Gray. That's it, Cody Gray. Cody is our local player, I believe, who's been playing Stunfisk lately. Wonder what he has brought to the expanded tournament. Excited to see what he is rocking today. Let's go ahead and throw these correct names up here so that, yes, our players are not misnamed. And we got Cody v. Brady. All right, locked, loaded, ship it. All right. And let's get that overlay up. Let's get the overlay up. Oh, man. Okay. Tournament table. And I'm gonna be late to the party. Let's go. Brady versus Cody. And we got it. All right. Names are up. They're ready to go. Round 2 at the Full Grip Games League Challenge. We've got Cody on the right versus Brady Botner on the left, I believe. But I will know shortly if I am mistaken. Oh, no, I have missed them up. Okay, yup, so they are actually reversed. We're going to fix that real quick. We've got Cody on the left versus Brady on the right. So that was just some classic miscommunication. We are going to fix that. I know that Cody is using Matt Price's Donphan deck. I know Matt was very excited about that. So excited to see how Donphan performs against Lost March. However, it could be a tough matchup since we do have Brady's Lost March deck does resist fighting. So that could be troublesome for Cody in this matchup. Definitely could be a little bit of a problem. All right, here we go. We got our correct overlay up. Thank you guys for being patient. Here we go. Hey, and thank you guys so much for the bits. Appreciate it. Thank you for everybody hanging out in the chat. We're off to the... Oh my gosh, was it actually correct before? No way. It was correct before. I thought I saw robo substitutes. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we're switching back. That's fine. I had it right the first time. We're going to go ahead and drag the correct overlay back over. Oh, yeah. All right. Busted. So this is how it actually is. We got Brady on the left playing Lost March. I thought I saw robo subs in Brady's hand, so that's why I thought that we had gotten that mixed up. But anyways, Brady's going in here, got level balls. Level balls are super good in Lost March. Honestly, if we had level ball in standard format, Lost March would just be completely insano. Level ball can search out Trumbeak, Hoppip, Skiploom, and also Natu. It can search out the entire deal here. It can search out everybody. Just very, very cool card here for free. It's like Great Ball, just better. It's everything that we wanted Great Ball to be in standard format. Level Ball accomplishes and more. So Level Ball is very, very good in this expanded list. I know Cody is also playing Master Ball, said he did not have any other ace specs. So I think that if he had a computer search, he would have played it. There are no proxies tonight at League because this is a League Challenge tournament. So players are not able to proxy cards tonight, as sometimes they do at the casual events that we hold. This is a official Pokemon tournament, so they need to play with real cards, and that's why Brady is playing that Master Ball, which actually, could be worse. We do see Cody go in for a Juniper there, turn 1, opting not to play Karina. Maybe feeling a little bit of pressure there from Brady's Lost March deck. This could be bad if he doesn't see a Phanpy, and of course, he doesn't, but I do think I see the Brooklet Hill there, so he will be able to get himself a Phanpy for this next turn. But the Donphan deck just plays very slowly. Usually you want to start Wobbuffet. Unfortunately, we see that Cody started the Diancie instead, which is very much in harm's way in the active position there. That Diancie would be a very important part of slowing down Brady's strategy, right? It would be very important because he needs the Diancie to deal enough damage through that fighting resistance on the Hoppips and Skiplooms. So we do see an aggressive Juniper there, thinking that might have been better off as a Karina just to go get an item card, but we do see the aggressive draw and a Fampy come down on Cody's side. Have to imagine he's at least going to put an energy down. Very good. So we do get the strong energy on the Fampy as well. And then we also have a handful of Karinas on Cody's side. So there should be no problem getting a Donphan next turn. But what Cody needs is not only a Donphan, but also a Wobbuffet. And ideally, we would be seeing a Wobbuffet in the active position right now so that Brady could not do what he is doing right at this very moment. Using Floral Path away to the sky to send both the Hoppip and the Skiploom into the Lost Zone here, along with that Trumbeak that's already there. I believe that's 3 Pokemon in the Lost Zone now. I really should run my big, nice die out there to the table. Maybe Natalie can help me out with that. I was going to say, I have some very nice large dice for the stream table usually, but that's just something that we forgot today, folks. So that's okay. We've got that little dice there. I could barely see it, but it's all good. We'll get that fixed down the road. Do have one Jumpluff in play, and Cody or Brady shuffles up here as he prepares for his next play action. We'll see what he's else got in that hand. I think that this matchup actually seems fine for Lost March. I think that fighting resistance is just going to be a crucial pain for Cody to get through. Every little bit of damage counts when you're playing against Lost March for sure. When you're playing Donphan, I mean, because they just need to spinning turn. They need to be ideally taking one prize every time they attack, because Lost March is absolutely going to be taking one prize every time it attacks. I don't think that Cody has many, if any, Robo subs in this deck. I know a lot of times the Donphan deck will spinning turn into Robo Substitute, which is basically a fake little item-based Pokemon, right? That just goes into the active and doesn't give up a prize when it gets knocked out. If Cody can jump ahead in the prize trade by spinning turn into Robo Substitute, that would be very good. But at this point, the damage feels like it's already been done. We see another Trumbeak come down from Brady. Brady has had enough usage out of those abilities in order to take one-hit KOs on Donphan. Just feels super bad. We have 6 Pokemon down now. He needs just one more to be dealing 140 damage, so he's pretty much there. And we got a Nest Ball as well. Have to imagine that that would go for a Hoppip if we had one, just to get that Hoppip down and allow Brady to get 2 more Pokemon into the Lost Zone to take another big KO. That, or he could just go for a Natu, just stabilize his board a little bit more with another Pokemon there. So that would be good for him as well. We do see the Oranguru. So Oranguru, definitely a valid option, because I don't actually see a double colorless energy in Brady's hand. So he did not hit the attack yet. He's got a Lost Mixer, or a Lost Blender, I think, and a Pokemon Communication. So he's going to Pokemon Communication a Hoppip into the deck. Pokecom is another awesome card that is available in expanded format. We see Brady go for that sick full art Shaman there. Brady really wants this double colorless energy, really trying to run Cody off the board here. So Brady will gladly go for that Shaman EX in order to draw his hand up to 6 cards, refill his hand back up to 6. Pokecom, awesome card in this deck, and is going to be reprinted soon in our standard format as well. So in addition, coming back to standard, I've been pulling all of our Pokecoms out of the bulk that I've been seeing here at Full Grip Games, preparing for that card to come back into standard in not too long here. Taking a look at these 6 cards, and I'm not seeing an energy here either. Maybe a grass. Okay, we got a grass, but not a double colorless energy. and no way to retreat that Natu. So Cody is safe here if he can just get, well, I don't want to speak too soon. Brady is looking to see if he can potentially pare his hand down any smaller, see if he can get any more draw power out of that Oranguru that he does have in play. Eyeing up his discard as well. Doesn't want to be too aggressive here if he doesn't have to be. Brady's going to go for the level ball. Imagine that would go for Trumbeak. If there's a Trumbeak to grab, he would just grab the Trumbeak and toss that into the Lost Zone as well to make it 7 Pokemon in the Lost Zone. 140 damage is going to be enough to knock out anything in Cody's deck. So that would be very good. We do see Brady grab that Trumbeak there. So he's going to probably play it. That or he's going to Lost Blender them away in order to pare his hand down. And I really like that. He can Lost Blender both the Trumbeak and that Marshadow, going for 8 Pokemon in the Lost Zone. And then I think Brady's going to get to instruct for at least 1. Now, since he already attached that grass, that means that he can't actually attach the double colorless energy if he draws into it, meaning that he would just be looking for a switch card if he played one. But I'm not sure how many switch cards Lost March plays in Expanded, if any at all. I think there's a possibility that it might play something like a Floatstone, potentially. We see the Instruct there yield just a level ball. So nothing too big there. Brady has to pass to Cody. And we know that Cody's got a lot of Karina in his hand and a Versus Seeker. I think he might be feeling tempted to go in and Versus Seeker for a Juniper. He will Brooklet Hill first and grab himself another Phanpy, but I think I just want to see a Karina here. I really just want to see a Karina for potentially a Wobbuffet or for a Floatstone. Something to help him attack. He could just get the Donphan and a Floatstone, get that Diancie out of there. Now, this is unfortunate that he doesn't really have a good target to Spinning Turn into. This Donphan will take a knockout on that Natu, but who will Cody promote after this Spinning Turn? Spinning Turn will knock out the Natu. He doesn't have anybody. A Hawlucha would be pretty good to Spinning Turn into right here, but I think it's probably just gonna have to be the other Phanpy, which just feels bad. He really wants it to be Wobbuffet, but at this point, like I had said, the damage is really already done here on Brady's side. He's already established his board. He's already gotten 8 Pokemon into the Lost Zone. I think that Cody might just be too far on the back foot in this matchup in order to maintain pace and keep up trades with this aggressive Lost March deck. Even though Cody will take the first prize. Brady actually hasn't taken a prize yet. So Cody is technically in the lead, but doesn't really feel like he's in the lead as far as board position is actually concerned here. Only having 1 attacker on Cody's side. The Donphans are much harder to build up than these Jump Bluffs and Natus. They're much harder to get going. And then knowing that the Donphan has to deal 90 damage to a Jump Bluff in order to knock it out in 1 hit, that is very tough. Now, a way that Cody could trade favorably. Oh no, when we see the Guzma come down for Brady, he's got the Guzma on that Donphan. I was going to say maybe one of the only ways that Brady can actually trade favorably here, or that Cody could trade favorably, would be to attach a Focus Sash onto some of these fighting type Pokemon. Some Donphan lists play Focus Sash as a way to prevent 1-hit KOs from happening on their very precious Donphans or fighting Pokemon. But I'm not sure that this list actually plays any Focus Sash, which is going to be very tough. The trade here is just not going to work out. We see Cody eyeing up the deck. The deck is playing a non-GX Buzzwole, which is cool that Buzzwole will be able to take a nice knockout on Brady's 4 prize turn. So that could be very good. And we see Brady go to read Hawlucha. Like, what in the world does this thing do? And surely enough, the Hawlucha could actually end up knocking out that Shaman at some point in the game. Hawlucha does 60 damage for 1 energy, and then with a strong energy could do 80 damage, with Diancie could do 100, with Choice Band could deal even more. And Hawlucha does have the effect of its attack, or I can't remember if it's the ability or the effect. Either way, it attacks through resistance. So Shaman's fighting resistance is no match for that Hawlucha. We do see the Juniper come down from Cody here. Gonna refresh, draw his hand up to 7 cards. We've also got an Ultra Ball, and we see Cody gladly ditching that Shrine of Punishment. Does not need Shrine in this matchup. It would whittle down that Shaman a little bit, but by and large, Cody is trying to figure out how he's going to take out these non-GX Pokemon turn after turn. The Shrine could be good, though. I think if Cody's going to win this game, he has got to jump ahead on prizes at some point by knocking out that Shaman EX. It's going to be the only way he can skip ahead. Cody is not going to be benching a GX Pokemon at any point in this match. That is for sure. So Brady won't have the same luxury of being able to take a 2-prize turn. I do want to see Cody keep a free retreater in play. So long as Cody gets to keep the Hawlucha or the Diancie, which he should, going into next turn, Cody will be able to pivot to a Buzzwole. And pivoting to Buzzwole on that 4-prize turn is going to be really big so that Cody can take the Sledgehammer knockout. We see Cody just has to promote the Hawlucha there. Is unfortunate. That only does 60 damage. The spinning turn 40, 60, 80 with that resistance. Unbelievable there. 60 damage. Very, very tough stuff there. Now, I have seen some Don fan lists opt to play a copy of Buzzwole GX as well, which is an option. If Cody did play Buzzwole GX, he might be able to clean up that jump bluff a little bit later in order to take a 2-prize turn, which could be very good. But it's not what we got going on here. Would be beneficial for Cody to start to see either Robo substitutes or Wobbuffets in order to slow this Lost March deck down. Brady is still gladly playing abilities using Instruct. Got a Skiploom in play, but Brady knows he does not have a Jump Bluff in the deck in order to send that away with the Floral Path away to the sky. Cody very diligently remembering to use the Brooklet Hill here, filling out his bench, goes for that Buzzwole, and that's fantastic. This is the turn for Buzzwole here, so Cody will be able to go down to 5 prizes finally. If Cody has a Guzma, could take out the Shaman here, which would be really big. Would do 100 and... would do 140 damage, enough to knock out that Shaman in 1 hit. Not sure if this list plays Counter Catcher or anything like that. Counter Catcher could also be good, but it looks like there's not going to be any sort of Counter Catcher shenanigans or anything like that. We do see a Nest Ball, though, which could be good, I think, if Cody decides to Spinning Turn. I think at this point he kind of has to Spinning Turn. I feel like Spinning Turn just makes the most sense, and then maybe Nest Ball for a Wobbuffet or something like that, and try to just try to prevent Brady from, I guess, using his abilities. But we see Cody just decide to grip the Nest Ball. What's up, Crunch Master? How are we doing? Or Crunch Meester? Natalie's in the house. Everybody just walked in. Thank you for showing up, Natalie.
Hey.
Appreciate it. Yo! What's up, everybody? Thank you all for showing up for our Wednesday Night League Challenge here. Got an exciting match, Natalie, between Jump Bluff and Donphan.
I was listening in the car.
You were listening in the car.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I saw you comment a couple times, and
There's
then
a
you
lot
were
of
here.
stoplights on my way home. Yeah.
Ah, very cool. So, actually pretty tight. We haven't been able to see a Wobbuffet come out on Cody's side yet.
Yeah.
Assuming the list does play Wobbuffet, right? This is Matt Price's list here. So, what's up, Neon Dead? Welcome to the chat. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us tonight
Yeah,
Appreciate the support.
I was thinking about it on the car ride. I think Donphan probably wins this matchup if they start Wobbuffet. If they don't, seems really bad.
It does seem really bad without starting
But
Wobbuffet.
the only thing that's good for them is it's kind of like back in like when Donphan was standard legal, it beat Night March like pretty well because Night March had to play GXs or EXs down usually to set up, whereas Donphan doesn't.
Right.
So that was kind of why it would beat Night March, even though they were both non-GX decks. You could usually take a knockout on a Shaman and wreck, or even spinning turn for enough, but you don't get to wreck as much anymore. And also the fact that you can't really use Fighting Stadium anymore is not really
not a thing.
So I think like if you start Wob, it's hard for the deck or for Lost March to actually set up. They have to find like a Guzma. They probably don't play that many, stuff like that. But otherwise, it seems kind of bad. It's hard to hit 90 consistently on a non-GX.
It is. Yeah. That is asking a lot. That fighting resistance is really a pain there.
You can hit 90 easy on a GX, but not on a non-GX very easily. You have to find Muscle Band, you have to find Strong Energy, you have to find Diancie, so that's a pain.
Right. So I think the turn one, maybe even the turn one Karina from Cody there could have allowed him to search out things like Muscle Band or maybe even an Ultra Ball or something, maybe to get Wobbuffet out, or not Ultra Ball, but Nest Ball. But I don't think he had a way to retreat the Diancie. Either way, starting the Diancie is just tough.
Is really a pain.
Yeah, for sure. Didn't really have any great options there to pivot to. So we see Brady continuing to grind through his deck, kind of just stunting over here. He's got a ton of Pokemon in the Lost Zone, more than I can count. By the way, Natalie, I will need your help kind of delivering the nice dice out there.
I can go do that now.
To the table. It's cool for this match. Just next round.
Well, thank you, Shotgun Nostrils. I just played a lot of Donphan back in the day.
Yes, Natalie is very rehearsed.
It was over here, wasn't
I think they're over there somewhere. Natalie is very rehearsed in the ways of Donphan and the Pokemon trading card game in general. She's very talented, very good at the game. All right, Brady will go get a Natu onto his bench, continuing just to set up his board. He's got 2 Grass Energy, both in play, another Trumbeak down. At this point, I'm sure Brady could knock out whatever he pleased in pretty much any deck. He's got plenty of Pokemon in the Lost Zone there. And then we'll gladly take a knockout on that active Buzzwole to go down to 3 prizes. Cody will promote the Diancie. It's got a free retreat, got the float stone there, so that's really good. And Cody will pivot to the Shrine. So that Shaman is going to start to take some damage here. I think Cody has an out. It's possible, right?
I think so.
I think if he takes a knockout here, he would have to take a knockout here, though.
Does he have a Muscle Band? Does an out to a Muscle Band? Does he have Karina in hand? Okay, he's got a Karina in hand. Oh, no, it's an N. He needs to have a Muscle Band. He's definitely got an out. It's going to be having to knock out that Shaman. He's going to have to take 2 more prizes, knock out the Shaman, or else he probably cannot win.
So he has to take a knockout this turn.
Or for some reason, Brady will have to miss, after he knocks out 2 jump lots, he'll have to miss an energy, which probably won't happen. He's got the Wob, but I think it's a little too late for that.
Yeah, and I think the Flowstone kind of had to go onto the Wob after an N. Kind of have to N, go to Wob, and you have to kind of do that twice to just kind of keep Brady from drawing cards here. It is a little bit of a Hail Mary play from Cody. Does he have the N?
He has an N. I didn't see a Karina or anything like that. I don't know, do we not have lists?
No, we don't have the list tonight. Right. Yeah, so I don't know what the exact counts are right now.
Matt Price and I were playing 2 Muscle Band in the Donphan list, so I'm not sure.
Right.
Cody's deck's pretty thin, so if he's got Muscle Bands in decks, he's got an okay chance of seeing them.
Right. 4-card draw here. Muscle Band takes the knockout on the active Jump Left. Then Brady would go down to 2 prizes, presumably taking a knockout. Then Cody could go down to 2 prizes by knocking out another Pokemon. And then Brady would go to 1 prize, and then Cody could...
Oh, and he didn't... Oh, Cody didn't... Cody attached the fighting this turn. He got another strong, which would have gotten the knockout, but he didn't attach. Oh, that's unfortunate.
That is unfortunate there. So I think that will just be enough.
That's probably it for Cody.
Yeah.
Brady's got a DCE in his hand. He's got 3 attackers. He can seal the game up right here.
Right. They are forgetting the Shrine damage right now. So
I'll go get him.
They do need to pop that onto the Shaman, but I feel like
1 turn?
usually, yeah, it's just been 1 turn. Cody's got it. Okay, so very cool. I feel like usually the shrine is forgotten about for sometimes just a few moments after the turn is passed, but usually gets caught, somewhere throughout the turn there. We see Brady pivot to a Nat 2, which will be able to attack into that Wobbuffet for psychic resistance and just way too much damage. Ridiculous amount of damage there. I think it's probably doing somewhere in the ballpark of 300 damage. I think that's 13 Pokemon that we see in the Lost Zone. So that is cool. I think Natalie is just getting to the table now. Yeah, they got it. Yeah,
I was running out there when they got it.
Yep. Very cool. All right. Cody now finds a muscle band, of course.
Unfortunate.
Now he's got the muscle band. Now he's got the double strong. A little bit too little, too late. Even though, he'll take this knockout here to go to 3 prizes remaining. Maybe even be able to get a Guzma on the Shaman.
Yeah, it's too late. One turn
too late. It is too late. Unless there was a Robo substitute. I still feel like Don fans should play at least one Robo sub.
I just don't think. I think Wobbuffet's too important right now.
It is important, but I don't know. Being able to just make your opponent skip a turn of taking prizes is so good.
There's just not a lot of room in the deck.
It is very tight.
Yeah, but that's it. I agreed. I mean, Robosub was good. The deck back then when it was standard legal didn't. It started off playing Wobbuffets, but people quickly realized that just 4 Toad is just, four Halucha is just way better. So you just played 4 Halucha, 4 Robosub, because that was the only way you would really beat any Toad decks.
Exactly. So the Robo substitutes, I think, could be decent in here, but there are just so many like Seismitoad decks and things like that in expanded format that's kind of tough to justify playing an item-based Pokemon like Robo Substitute. Wobbuffet is just a perfect starter versus so many decks in expanded format and would have shut down Brady's strategy entirely if Cody had just started it.
Yeah, for sure.
So
you have a pretty good chance to start the Wob and get it into the active, but sometimes it doesn't happen. I think at that point it's almost too late. If Brady gets an explosive start, there's the Wob is just kind of pointless at that point.
Right. I mean, yeah, Cody could have started Nest Ball and Karina.
Yeah.
Any other combination of Karina and a Floatstone would have got it. There are a bunch of different combinations that could have allowed Cody to get the turn 1 Wobbuffet here. But now that Wobbuffet's Barricade Barrier? Or
I could not tell you what the ability was. It might be Bide Barrier.
I think it's Bide Barricade or something, or Bide Barrier. Bide Barricade? I feel like it's Bide Barricade.
It might be Bide Barrier. I don't know.
I feel like Wobbuffet's Bide Barricade is doing just too little, too late here. Alex Champion, it is 5 rounds. Yeah, 5 rounds. This is round 2. I will get a round counter up here eventually. I can just put a round counter on the...
If you log me into Nightbot, I can update that.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I should put a round counter just on the
yes.
overlay eventually. JW coming in after his round 2. How did you end up, JW?
I took it down.
Oh, you got there. Very good.
Yes, thank you.
Very cool. We've got Don Fan versus Lost March. Here on the scene. Lost March looks like it's going to be taking it here. All Brady has to do is attack 2 more times, and it's game. Does have a Shaman slowly whittling away to Shrine here on the bench, but Cody is just 1 turn too late in order to take it out. There's no way Brady doesn't just attack next turn for game. So
yeah, there's nothing you can do here.
Yeah, just backed into a corner. Unfortunately, Cody did not start Wobbuffet. It would have been very good if Cody was able to start that Wob and just lock off the abilities there early on, but
Wobble,
Brady was
baby,
able...
Wobble, baby, wob.
Oh, this is what JW...
Right?
Yes,
you're
very
right,
good,
man.
JW.
Right? Thank you.
Yes,
thank you.
very
Yes,
good.
very good song.
Yep. So, unfortunate beats there for Cody. We see Cody kind of rummaging through his hand there, trying to weigh his final turn. You got to take a look.
He's trying to savor it, you know?
Yeah, and he extends the hand.
He's like,
That's
my prize cards.
No, he only had 2 prizes remaining after taking the active knockout there. Tough stuff. A Shaman on the bench that never got taken down, so unfortunate there for sure. What's up? All right, JW and Natalie on the scene now. Got a little bit more company than I started out with just an hour ago. That concludes round 2. We got JW at 2-0. How did your matchup go, JW?
It was pretty good. What did I play against? Oh, I played against Buzzwole.
Okay.
So I have a Seismitoad.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
that's
I
good.
used that, and I denied him the Beast turn because I was able to knock out his active Buzzwole with my Seismitoad.
Oh, that's very smart.
Interesting.
And then I took
Okay.
2 prizes, and he went down to 4 prizes. But then I had a response knockout on his
Nice.
Lycanroc
Nice.
With the Zoroark.
with his Zoroark.
And
for
a choice
210.
band.
It was very good.
And 8 bench Pokemon with
felt very
Skyfield.
good, yes.
I'm sure it did feel very good. So
Yes.
awesome stuff there. So you go on to 2-0. We've got Brady moving on to 2-0. How do you feel against Lost March?
I feel pretty bad. My deck is a little bit different from Otto's, so I don't play the Giratina or the Coco.
Nope.
So I'm going to hope that they brick, and also that I
Tell you one thing about Brady is that man does not brick.
Okay, well, I'm hoping that I can put some pressure on with the Seismitoad. That's my game plan against him.
You do know that Seismitoad is weak too.
Well, I understand, but if they
Grass,
never are able to play items, then maybe they'll never get it down. So,
That is a possibility.
and they only play 3 grass energy, right?
They do only play a few grass energy. Some lists play 4, some lists play 3. So
We're
yeah,
fine.
it'll be
It probably plays
fine.
3 because you can have special charge and expanded. So it's probably
Special
3.
charge.
You're still playing the Garbodor in your list, though, right?
Yes.
So just go in with a big fat Zoroark.
And then
Turn
Garblock.
2 Garb.
I know.
I think
Well,
that's
that's-
just
I
it,
think that's
right?
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
it.
yeah.
So you should be fine.
Yeah, we'll be good.
Yeah, you'll be fine. Just go in with a big
There's plenty
turn
of other
2
2-0s
Garb.
probably, right?
Right. I
Probably a
don't
couple.
know if Brady plays Field Blower, so something to
yeah,
watch
well.
out for, but it'll be alright.
It's
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah, for sure. Well, good luck, JW.
Thank you.
Let's see. Maybe we'll get you on camera next round.
Well, we'll
That
see.
would
Hopefully.
be pretty
That'd be
cool.
cool.
I'll go,
That'd be a good time.
I'll have Natalie work out
Yes.
our stream match there. So
Oh, I'm gonna choose something.
gonna choose something.
Not JW though.
Oh, you don't think you're gonna choose JW there?
I'll choose JW.
So who all in the stream is going to be attending the Anaheim Regional Championship? Is anybody attending Anaheim this weekend? Flights were actually relatively cheap out of Cleveland, so that was awesome. I think we booked them for like 130 round trip, so that was pretty dope. Honestly, about the cost of a play set of Ninetales, not even a play set
Which
of
we don't
Ninetales.
own.
Which we don't own. Yeah. Thank you, Silver Fang the Jolteon, for the Twitch sub. Appreciate it.
Nice,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'll go scout some rounds and purchase an energy beverage, and I'll be right back.
Yes. Thank you so much, Natalie. Excellent. Thank you, Silver Fang. Welcome to the club. You're welcome to use my embarrassing emoji now, or emote. There we go. The yikes emote. Yes. For all my wonderful Twitch subs. Y'all rock. Y'all are amazing. Reason why I grind out all these hours. You guys are amazing. Thank you. There we go. Busted. Hutzel, man, I don't know what the play is for Anaheim. Still trying to figure that out. I'm still trying to... JW actually came down early this week from Columbus. He's staying in Columbus right now. Came down early. I was up till 3 a.m. testing with JW. Thank you, Paul, for the bits. I was up testing with JW there, and we were testing last night. We were testing Zoroark. We were testing Archies. We were testing... Zoroark and Archies. Those were the 2 decks that we were testing. So Archies is really good. It's also, he lost some games with Archies because he flipped triple tails on an Articuno flip. So that was like a really bad beat. Like that was a bad feeling for sure. And then he also lost some games with Archies because he flipped tails on order pad. So that was like a bad beats as well. And then, we played some Zoroark mirrors. Like, expanded is insane. Natalie's saying there's a Durant out there. She is in charge of the stream match, so we could see a Durant on stream next time. Yes, the Fliptini does work on Archie. I mean, you could play the Fliptini with the Articuno. The Fliptini just allows you to reflip any coins that you've flipped for attacks. So you could actually reflip with the Articuno if you wanted to. So that is a possibility. I think most of the time you just try to only attack with Articuno when you would just have to hit 1 heads in order to take the knockout. That's like the safe play, is you're just like hedging your bets. You usually only try to knock out like 60 hit point Pokemon or 80 hit point Pokemon. Maybe if you have a muscle band, you go in for the 80 hit point knockout. So when you just hit the 3 tails, it's just ultimately you just so you don't actually need to play the flip TD. You just try to hedge your bets correctly in order to maximize your odds of taking those double prizes there. I feel like I got something in my eye. Woo! Let's see. Why doesn't Maxie get a good card to use? Maxie has had some really good cards to use, and it has historically, and it still does have some good cards. I have played Maxie's Night March before. I top 32 to regionals with Maxie's Night March, and you used Archeops with it, so you could get a turn 1 Archeops. Archeops got banned, unfortunately. Too busted. Though I think that the Archeops are just like super fun, so good. I mean, obviously it's very stifling, making it so that no ability Pokemon and no evolution Pokemon can be played. Turn 1 is just way too crazy. But it was so good. You would play it in Night March, so that Night March there's no evolution Pokemon. You don't need to evolve anything. And then you just go in, get a huge turn, get the Maxies, the Archeops. And then I also played it with Gallade, so that you could Maxies the Gallade into play, which is really cool. Gallade one-hit KOs Zoroarks, and doesn't matter if they Karen you. So that was a very cool little thing that you could do as well. And then I also have played Maxies with Marowak. So there was one tournament, which I actually ended up doing like pretty well at. I think I top 64'd a regional in Canada with Maxies, Archeops, Gallade, and Marowak. And I used Maxies Marowak in order to beat a Giratina deck. So I actually played against a Giratina Seismitoad deck. Go turn 1, Maxies the Marowak with the Bodyguard ability into play turn 1, and then your opponent's just like, oh no, right? My whole deck does nothing. And then they're just like sitting there just quaking punching for 30, and they're not even item locking you. It's amazing. Feels incredible. So Maxies does have some targets. I tried building a Maxies Primal Groudon deck. That didn't really work out. Though I did play against one once at a regional championship. And it wasn't like a dedicated Maxies Primal Groudon deck. I think it was just like a Primal Groudon deck that happened to also play a Maxies just in case they hit it. So like that was interesting. I actually ended up losing that at a regional championships in 2016 one time when I top 32, top 16 actually, top 16 with Raichu that year. Okay. So who do we got? We got Otto. Otto and JW. Zoroark.
The other option was a Lost March Mirror, which I didn't want.
Mirror. So, we should show off a Zoroark Mirror. Both players going to be attending the Anaheim Regional Championships.
Otto, yeah, you got it.
So this is very exciting. We got JW Creewall versus Advan Belendran. Otto, the man genius man, who creates very exciting rogue decks. All right, Otto, rogue genius. Otto, rogue genius, Belendran over here. Should I put that on the, can I call Otto rogue genius? You think he'd appreciate that?
Sure, let's do it.
I'm going to call him Otto Solgaleo expert.
Otto Dragons Belendran.
Genius Dragons Belendran. Otto Rogue Genius. We're going to start calling him Rogue Genius.
What's a Pixar file? Explain that to me.
A Pixar file? Yeah. I don't know what a Pixar file is.
Andrew went to save this file, and there was an option for Pixar, and I was curious.
Listen, there are a lot of different files that you can create on Photoshop. I just need to create a ping file, a .png. That's all I'm creating. So Otto VJW.png onto the desktop. Let's go. And these guys are starting to get set up for their next round now. I will drag the old, yeah, there we go. You know, one day I'll get better at this and won't have to actually recite the fact that I'm doing it as I'm doing it, but it helps me to kind of keep it flowing here. All right, got JW versus Otto, the Rogue Genius, on the right there. So I'm telling you, I think that the Blacephalon could be very fun and expanded. I haven't exactly laid it to bed yet. Think it could be good. Kind of fulfills the same role that Buzzwole did at least a year ago. So, yeah, both these guys are 2-0 with their Zoroark decks.
Doesn't get 3 prized by an Articuno, though.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. That is a little bit sad.
Yeah, it's like extremely sad.
I mean, but how many people are playing Blastoise really? Probably
A lot.
A couple. All right. So this is a Zoroark mirror. Both players are playing.
They're a little different, though.
They are a little different. JW's list is very similar to my list that I was working on. I actually filmed a video with it today. It's pretty similar and borrows a lot of things from that. We've got a Marshadow in JW's list. It's also, both lists do play Garb. I know a lot of these lists are similar to lists that Riley's working on as well. And our testing group, I know Otto's put some time into these, JW, Natalie, we've all put some time into these. They're really just, they're similar, they're both similar, but they all both come out of our testing group, which is very fun. So both these players, kind of considering these decks for Anaheim here, just very fast Zoroark decks. I think JW's playing a Sudowoodo
What's
and
going on
Otto.
with the banter over here, you think? Sorry, I just was distracted by Otto. Otto and JW both very expressive right now. Wonder
I have
what they're
no
talking
idea
about.
what they're talking
Continue.
about. I was going to say, my Zoroark deck plays a Sudowoodo. I sure hope that JW decided to put a Sudowoodo into his deck. I know that Otto is not playing a Sudowoodo.
Yeah.
So that is for sure. But they're both playing Garbodor.
Yeah.
And Skyfields.
Yeah.
So it should just be a big, explosive one-hit KO fest. That's just what we should see. We should see, like, both players aim to take big one-hit knockouts very quickly. JW starts Egg, but honestly, it's not, like, the worst thing in the world. Like, he's got 2 Floatstone in the deck. If Otto takes a prize, and he's going first, so if he takes the first knockout on an Egg, JW doesn't really mind because JW wants to take the first knockout on a Pokemon GX. I think JW is playing the Marshadow in his list, which I really like, actually. I do like Let Loose Marshadow in here. We see both players opting to play a copy of Mysterious Treasure in their decks as well, which I also really like. Mysterious Treasure gives them an extra out to Tapu Lele. We see Otto, the Rogue Genius, go in and get his Professor Elm's lecture there, grabbing a Trubbish and 2 Zorua off of the lecture. So he's taking a little look through his deck just to make sure that there is nothing he's missing. Both players are playing Bursting Balloon as well as a Klefki in order to lock abilities up with the Garbodor, as well as a couple copies of Floatstone too. But the Bursting Balloons as well as the Klefki allow for kind of shortened, abbreviated ability locks, just 1 turn ability lock, one-sided ability lock.
Yeah.
One-sided ability lock. So very cool stuff there.
Yeah, we were playing this. JW was playing this deck this morning, a little more similar. I think probably just Otto's list. This morning we were working with the list that Otto was playing, I should say. We were playing it this morning versus Blastoise, and the deck's pretty cool. I mean, it really gets that lock off really fast, and you can draw through your deck so quickly. Colress for like 10 or more,
for 10.
Constantly. I mean, often I think JW Colress for like 13 against me turn 3 or something one time.
Absolutely,
it was just crazy.
Yep. Awesome stuff. I mean, this deck really, I had to stop thinking of it like a Zoroark deck. I have like kind of this stubborn image in my mind that Zoroark decks are just hard to play or that they're convoluted and not straightforward. This deck feels more like a Mega Ray deck to me.
Yeah, it's definitely very, I mean, it's like the Lonzo deck that from last year in Dallas.
Right.
It's just very aggressive. One-hit KO deck. Even it just draws a lot of cards, which makes it way better.
Exactly. You've got a lot of draw power in here, multiple copies of Shaman. We see Otto draw into a Battle Compressor here, and will gladly ditch the Giratinas as well as whatever executes he might have floating around inside the deck still. The Giratinas are a cool addition. They can pop themselves out of the discard pile with that Distortion Door ability and just put 10 damage onto JW's side of the field as well, which could be very relevant if potentially that execute does not make its way off of the field. I mean, if that goes onto the bench, then Distortion Door could take some cheap prizes there. So that is a lot. It is something to worry about on JW's side. JW is going to be on the draw here. Starts off with the Battle Compressor himself. Will gladly ditch that Egg, and then is probably looking for I guess he's going to ditch a supporter card as well. He's got the Colress in the discard pile. I know I saw the Ditto Prism Star in his opening hand, so he will be benching that too. Then we see him start to move some Pokemon to the front of his deck. He's looking like he's eyeing up a Bridget or a Lecture here. He's got the cards that he needs, and yes, plays that Sudowoodo. So I'm very happy that JW decided to include the Sudowoodo in his deck. Should be very strong, especially if JW can somehow knock out that Garbodor. That would be that'd be very good. Though I don't anticipate that JW is going to be able to pull that off quite this turn, or maybe even turn 2. I think he's probably going to be targeting down some Pokemon GX. They're both trying really hard in order to take just 6 quick prizes. They're going to want to do that. We see JW go for the Delinquent, and
Ooh.
I do love the inclusion of Delinquent. I'm playing Delinquent in my list as well. So good with that Let Loose Marshadow as
sure.
well.
Yeah, people are asking in the chat why Fabo doesn't run through this deck. We were just talking about it. The deck tries to win in like 3 or 4 turns so that it doesn't really get Fabo out of the game.
Right.
You also probably, especially against a Zoroark Mirror, don't throw down your DCs unless you're about to attack, stuff like that. So I think, I think it's probably too fast for Fabo to really effectively beat it.
Right. It does play Special Charge, so the idea is that you're not attacking unless you're taking 2 prizes.
Right.
That's
yeah.
what
It's
you
pretty
try
much
to
the goal.
do. Now, obviously, against a deck that plays maybe like Hoopas and Fabas,
Yeah, it's difficult.
you probably lose to that deck. Okay, you lose to Wailord for sure. Like, you're just getting smoked by Wailord. It's not going to be close. But this deck is just kind of like, think of it like Rayquaza GX or something like that. It's just a fast, kind of like beat stick deck that tries to take some very quick prizes.
We have access to the list now.
Oh, okay, cool. Natalie's going to grab the list. See, JW is setting down his Ditto there. Otto checking the prizes and will pass turn. 3 Zorua on the bench, as well as Ditto Prism Star. Fantastic turn 1 from both players. I will say that JW's bench is looking a little bit more formidable, though, with the opportunity to get 4 Zoroarks potentially into play turn 2. Otto will be limited to only 3. I mean, if he decides to evolve the Ditto Prism Star into a Zoroark, which I have to imagine is probably on his mind. We see Otto evolve both benched Zoroarks first, though. So potentially Otto is looking for a Guzma play this turn by not evolving that active. I don't think that Otto wants to just give up a Zoroark like that. I think Otto does not want to just knock out and execute for 1 prize while offering up a Zoroark GX in the active. That is just dangerous
putting
play.
himself in a lot of danger.
Exactly.
JW can just easily pop off and respond and knock out that Zoroark.
And then if whoever takes the first GX knockout is going to be hugely favored here. So that is what both players are going to be jockeying to try and do. I highly doubt that Otto is going to be able to take an explosive play like that turn 2, especially since I know Otto's list is only running 3 copies of Skyfield. So JW, I think, is playing 4 and will be more in command of who gets to play the first Skyfield here.
Yes, JW is playing 4.
Yeah, I really like 4 Skyfield in a deck like this, just very aggressive. And we see Otto Dowsing Machine for Ultra Ball. I have to ask myself if Dowsing Machine is really better than Computer Search. I know JW is playing Computer Search, I believe, right? Or is he playing Dowsing as well?
I think they're both playing Dowsing. At least we were this morning. Dowsing Machine and Dowsing Machine. Yeah, they're both playing Dowsing Machine. You need to be able to Dowsing Machine back for your Bursting Balloon.
That's fair. I'm really a fan of Computer Search personally. I've seen Otto Dowsing Machine for Ultra Ball twice now. And it's not that bad when you have eggs. I mean, you can easily do that. But it's I do like the speed and just quickness of Computer Search, especially for an aggressive deck like this one. But I do understand the flexibility of being able to get back supporters, as well as cards like Bursting Balloon can be very good. So let's see. Otto searching through his deck with that Ultra Ball now. He is a little bit board locked. I don't think that he'll be able to go for any aggressive
he played the
draws.
Ninetales today.
Oh, he does play the one.
That's pretty sweet.
Bright Look Ninetales.
If Otto could pull off a crazy turn, this turn where he like knocks out that like Lele or something with the Bright Look and gets ahead. That's pretty bad.
That would be
and gets
very
the Garvin
good.
play. That would be pretty crazy.
So you think he's going to go for the Tapu Lele here?
I don't know. If he has a knockout, I think he should. We'll see what he.
I don't think he has it yet.
Oh,
I think he's going
he's just
to.
Gonna go for it.
He's going to Colress or just Juniper. Yes,
Juniper?
Sycamore.
Oh, he's got a DCE.
He needs a lot, though. He needs the Skyfield, and he needs a Floatstone.
Yeah.
That's asking for quite a bit here. I think he's already traded twice, right?
Has he?
I know I saw him tap at least one Zoroark.
Okay.
And they're not tapped anymore. So I think he's traded twice. I think that he has. So that's a big, aggressive turn from Otto. Bright Look on the Ninetales, much like that Zoroark GX. We see the Garbodor come down, but I don't think he has it.
No, he doesn't have
He's
it.
just going to pass.
Yep.
So I think, JW's just got the Field Blower in his hand.
Okay. Yeah. That's good.
So that's great. JW is playing 2 copies of Field Blower. He's 4 Skyfield. I'm telling you, the 4 Skyfield, he's got it. He's ready. He's got his own Garb and N. So that is a good play there from JW. He can kind of trade, get his own hand together, then decide what the tempo of the game is going to be. He's not going to be able to pull off any sort of crazy play this turn where he brings up one of Otto's Pokemon GX, but he's hoping that he can maybe lock Otto out of his abilities and give him an awkward hand that he can't take a GX knockout with. So with both players having Garbodor at their disposal, they're really going to be giving their opponents some trouble here. Really going to be giving each other some trouble. Let's see, what does JW have? I think he has 1 egg in the discard pile, so he does have some flexibility with these Ultra Balls in order to go get Zoroarks into play and then start trading for free. He does have 1 Ultra Ball in his hand. I think he needs to throw that Zorua down as well so that the egg can just get popped off the bench if it comes down to that. We do see the double colorless coming down, and I like that just in case he gets like an awkward hand where he doesn't get to... Oh, I think he's eyeing up Shaman.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a Shaman turn for sure.
He's in a pretty weird spot, though. If he doesn't get a Floatstone, he can't really retreat, and he has to leave that Lele up active to potentially be knocked out and let Otto take the first 2 prize knockout, which is not good, especially considering Otto went first, and Otto has Garbodor at his disposal too, potentially.
I think I actually like holding on to the Choice Band just in case he decides. Now, I think that these guys are only playing 2 copies of Choice Band on their list each, so that is a difference between their lists and what I like 3 Choice Band personally, but I guess the third would allow him to be a little more flexible and potentially save the Choice Band to throw onto the Garbodor there. So that is an option for JW as well, but he's already committed that Choice Band to the Zorua. So he has to draw into Floatstone or Klefki in order to continue that lock. Unless that final card in his hand that I can't see is a Floatstone. It might potentially be. I can't tell right now, but I do know he's probably going to get Shaman here. I think that's what we're into. Though the Shaman is a very high-risk play, I think he saves Shaman until he's going for his own knockout.
Right, yeah, I don't know if I would dig, but I think he's going to go
I think he's going for a Zoroark.
I should probably just get a Zoroark. Ooh,
no, he's going for the Shaman. This is a very high... Ooh, I like the Let Loose. I like the Let Loose better, JW.
Nope, just the Shaman.
Okay. So if the Zoroark can play, I like Let Loose better.
Yeah, he doesn't have any... Yeah, that's not... I would not want to let loose myself with his current situation.
Right.
I think... I mean, I get it. We'll see if it buffs out.
I mean, at this rate, if Otto just has Guzma...
Yeah,
that Shaman is gone.
I can't really tell. I see a Zoroark. I see an Ultra Ball.
Does he have Field Blower, though?
I can't tell.
It'd be big as well. We have to imagine, let's see, JW does have a tool card, so he can lock up abilities with Choice Band. I believe he does have a Choice Band in his hand. He's going to trade away Bridget. He's got another Skyfield and another Zoroark here. So he will trade away that other Skyfield. He knows they both play Skyfield, probably don't need the Skyfield in his deck. He's just thinning bad cards out of his deck. He knows that he could propagate and use Execute in order to trade, but he just wants to thin his deck as much as possible in order to give himself the opportunity to draw well. off of late game ends. That is very big
And in
for this
Garbodor,
matchup.
yeah.
Garbodor and N. Looks like the worst might have come true for JW. That Lele might just be stuck active.
Yeah.
With Skyfield in play now, I think JW could have played this turn a little more conservatively.
Yeah, it does stink having to burn the DCE to retreat that Lele, though. I don't know if there's any way he could have get the Floatstone. Yes, the Klefki does discard itself at the end of the turn, even though it's on Garb.
So JW will lock up his own abilities with the Choice Band. So abilities turned off for both he and Otto. JW is kind of on the play here as far as like he just refilled his hand to 6. He just traded twice. Now he'll pass it back to Otto. See if Otto has a Field Blower in order to remove these tools. That or a Floatstone, a DCE, and a couple of Pokemon. He's got the Floatstone right in his hand and a double colorless energy. This is really bad, but he doesn't have Pokemon to throw down quite yet. He needs 8, 9. He needs all 9 Pokemon in play in order to do 180 damage without a Choice Band.
Yeah.
So this is tough. He does need to fill his bench. He needs 3 basic Pokemon. Usually this deck will rely on like Giratina to pop it out of the discard pile, but that ability, Garbodor, is keeping him from doing so. So he will Ultra Ball, a Zoroark, and another Ultra Ball out of his hand in order to get another Pokemon. But the Tapu Koko... See, that DCE came down early. Made me think that Otto just had it. He also has a Rescue Stretcher in his hand.
Yeah, I think he's got it.
He's probably had... The way that he just started slamming things down made me think that he probably had it. That being said, JW could be on the play here just because he's got more Zoroarks available, and Otto only has 2. So he's going to double count, make sure that he's got enough to knock out the Tapu Lele. He does. So this is, and he has the Sycamore. Otto just has everything that he needs in order to take this knockout.
It's a great turn from Otto.
Is a great turn for Otto. I think JW needed to play this a little bit more conservatively and potentially just go to try and limit Otto's options more. But, I mean, what more could he have really done? And I guess he tried with the Shaman to get a tool for the Garbodor. He did it. But going first in this matchup is just huge.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if he could have hit the Floatstone off of that Shaman, too, he would have been in a better spot. But even then, who knows what could have happened here. Let's see.
For sure. Tough stuff there. I mean, Otto has just burned through a huge portion of his deck at this point. Having the Floatstone and all the Pokemon just available to him. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's got the 8 he needs for a knockout now. He didn't have it previously. So now that Tapu Lele is a goner, and that is tough for JW. We're going to see if he's going to be able to respond to this. He needs the Choice-Banded Zoroark for sure. So he did split his DC Zoroark with his Choice-Banded Zoroark, so he won't be able to actually use that. We were talking about potentially playing Trash Lanch in this deck as well. Trash Lanch could obviously be a very good option against Otto right now. I think he's got more than enough items in that discard pile to knock out that Zoroark GX with Trash Lanch. But JW does not play any basic energy, does not play it. So he's just got to go for his own Colress. There's a little bit of a heartbreaker here with Garbodor active. You know that going for Colress instead of limiting your opponent's hand is a bummer. His only option coming out of this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, is to get Field Blower and Let Loose with a DCE off of this Colress for, it is a Colress for like 15 though.
Yeah, it is. It's a Colress for 15. That's some pretty crazy stuff. So
it could happen. Some lists are opting to play red card. JW and I both like the Marshadow. He could get Field Blower's own Garb, and Let Loose Otto down to 4 cards. He's got DC, he's got Marshadow. He does not have the Field Blower though. So that is tough. He's got almost all the pieces he needed to make that play happen. Now Otto is just going to be able to sit on this pretty big... His Choice Band's on the active Zoroark already.
Okay, I couldn't see.
So he's just got to take this on the chin. Unfortunate. Otto does need to respond with another benched Pokemon and a choice-banded Zoroark himself. But at this point, players have no way to limit each other's bench. They both play Garbodor. JW does play Sudowoodo, but it's not making a difference here because Garbodor is active. So it's just a one-hit KO war right now, and we're going to see if maybe the end, kind of the end wars here at the end of the match end up making any difference. So JW will take, he's got a Pokemon off camera there that I can't see. He will take the knockout.
The Marshadow, right? Did he?
I hope he didn't bench them. I think he's gripping the Marshadow, yeah. So let's see. Otto on the play will draw his card and see what he's got. He needs a Choice Band and a DCE and a Pokemon. He slaps that double colorless energy down. He could also Guzma for a Shaman this turn if he doesn't have it.
If he doesn't have a Choice Band, he needs to do that. You can't just slap into the Zoroark. It's just a bad idea. Especially considering JW has a Choice Band already.
Exactly. So he needs to go for a knockout on a Pokemon EX or GX. And he doesn't have the Choice Band, so he will gladly just Guzma the Shaman and take this. So if JW was able to find anything, really, if he was just able to find an N, I mean, even just an N would do it. He gets to save his Choice Banded Zoroark. If he could just N Auto to 2 and bench another Pokemon,
he's got it.
He's probably got an N in here. These lists are playing 2 copies of N. You have to imagine that, no, I don't think I see it.
I don't see one.
He's got a gigantic hand.
Right.
But I don't think there's any N in there.
Man, no Verse Seeker, no N, huh?
Nothing. These guys have huge hands, but they can't draw any cards. So it's just a tough situation. It's another reason why I think Faba is really good as well.
Yeah.
Can you Faba your own Choice Fan, like off of the Garbodor?
I think so. I'm going to check though.
If JW had Faba at his disposal, he would be able to remove his own Choice Band from the Garb and let loose them both to 4.
No, it's actually opponents only.
Is it opponents? Okay, so the Faba, that's not an option. It doesn't work like... Did Zerosic used to be able to remove your own? I don't remember.
Can't remember either, honestly.
Anyway, Field Blower removes your own, so that's just going to be a knockout. Otto either has it or he doesn't. It's been an odd exchange here. Just big one-hit knockouts. Zoroarks back and forth, back and forth. JW doesn't have any cheap prizes. I think if Otto had it, he would have played it already.
Right. Oh, Ultra Ball.
Just going to Ultra Ball and take a look. These guys have not been able to remove this Garbodor lock from play since it came into action a few turns ago.
Just for the earlier question, Zerosic could have removed anything on your board.
Okay.
But Faba is only the opponent.
Okay, so that is an interesting differentiation between Zerosic and Faba that I hadn't quite considered, though usually just removing your opponents is what you want to be doing anyway. JW now finally has a Versus Seeker in his hand, I think, but it's just probably a little late.
I don't know. I mean, Otto doesn't seem like he has it yet.
I don't think he does.
If Otto doesn't have like a supporter here, I'm not sure if he can do anything.
He Ultra Balls for a Garbodor,
like
probably to Sycamore it.
Potentially, or he's thinning his deck and is just going to pass with that thing active.
Oh my gosh, because he could just be thinning his deck in order to hope he top decks.
Yeah.
That is an option as
well. Otto does play 2 Field Blower, and he hasn't used one yet, right? So
right.
It's pretty crazy he hasn't seen one.
Is this JW's turn right now? Did he pass?
No, he's shuffling.
He's shuffling. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
All right. So it's not. I just had to make sure. I was going to say it didn't escalate that
but
quickly.
He might not have anything.
Yeah. Let's see. What's in that hand?
He's showing us.
He's showing us. He's got an end.
Is he going to Kukui for it?
There's no way he's going to Kukui for it.
He just flashed the Kukui. Oh,
he's going to Kukui for it.
Come on, Otto.
He needs a Choice Band, right?
A Choice Band. Oh, okay. Skyfield. I think that was a Skyfield.
He gets one more. No, he didn't get it. JW's extending his hand.
JW just clapped.
He's clapping. JW is so excited about it. He knows. This is a crazy war here, back and forth. He's going to toss that Skyfield. I don't think that there's... What did he need off of that? The DCE?
DCE Choice Band, I believe.
I think he just needed a DCE because he needed DCE and Choice Band. I don't even think he had the Choice Band in his deck.
Maybe he was... I'm not sure.
Maybe the Choice Band is in his hand and he needed the DCE.
Yeah,
but ending himself to 2 would have felt horrible. So I think he had to Kukui there.
Yeah.
That was his only out. Maybe, I didn't see any Field Blower in his deck either Field Blower would have been an out.
There's no way he prized both in his last two prizes. I don't
think so. But I didn't see any when I glanced through. So we do see Otto playing Battle Compressor, opting to just thin some of the final cards out of his deck to limit it to only the things he wants to see. Now JW is just on the play.
Yeah.
He's got Guzma. It's game
over.
over.
JW's court. If he has Guzma, he just needs an out to a Guzma. And I think you said you saw a Versus Seeker in his hand. Did he have a Guzma in his discard, though?
I think I saw the Versus Seeker in his hand. I'm not sure if he has Guzma in his discard pile. Most of these lists are only playing one Guzma.
Yeah.
So he does have the Versus Seeker there at the end. I think I see that's a reverse hollow Versus Seeker, but not sure if he has the Guzma available. Otto is sitting there really grinding his gears, trying to figure out what in the world he could possibly do. I think he has to Sky Return the Shaman if he had a DCE, but I think the DCE is what he was missing.
I don't think it matters if he Sky Returns because JW has a knockout on any GX.
On Lele, you're right. It doesn't actually matter. It doesn't matter.
He needs to leave that in play so he can take a knockout.
I think you Sky Return just to soften up the Zoroark.
That's potentially true, but I don't know if it... I think JW has it. Maybe not.
Oh, he's kind of rustling around as well. Is he slow rolling him? No, he's taking a look. Oh, no. How do they not have it yet?
Otto has a huge Colress next turn, I think, potentially, considering he compressored one. I'm not sure if he ended up getting the Versus Seeker off of that. The Pokefan, Otto is playing 3 Skyfield, and JW is playing 4. So it depends on the list.
Yep, it depends on the list for sure, but usually 3 or 4, depending on the variant, or 0. Some Zoroark lists play 0.
Don't play any. Yeah,
more control-oriented Zoroark decks don't play any. So let's see. We see JW eyeing up Otto's discard pile. So this is crazy.
I don't think JW has it.
The Garbodor has really locked these players out here. They have huge hands with just not much else going on in it. We do see JW eyeing up the end.
Yeah.
Might opt to just end Otto to 2 and knock out the Coco and just say, you know what, the ball's in your court.
Otto did have the DC, but he didn't attach it.
Didn't attach it. He couldn't take a knockout with it.
Yeah.
I think you at least Sky Return there.
Yeah, I don't know. JW had win if he had Guzma. I would have just probably thrown the DCE down, but especially preparing for an end. But I'm not sure. I feel like that might have been a good way to prepare for the end.
Right. So.
Because if JW had the Guzma, he won anyway. So there's no point in worrying about the DC getting taken out of play. I feel like.
Right. Interesting stuff here. Okay. So let's see. JW is going to put a bursting balloon down just to thin his deck, potentially, or maybe Ultra Ball it away. He's really grinding through this final turn here, making sure that he can make the most optimal play possible. He's going to Ultra Ball away Sycamore and a Klefki, or Sycamore and Colress, or a Klefki. All right, and a Klefki. And take a look at the final cards in his deck. He's got a very small deck.
Yes.
I think he's only got 5 or 6 cards left. So, not a ton of stuff. These benches are out of control.
I know.
I will say we need some.
We don't really have room on the full grip play mat for the Skyfield games.
No, we don't. We need a bigger mat.
Bursting balloon on Zoroark.
Yep.
Yeah.
JW has float stones.
They should be putting their bench 2 layered in their bench, man. That's how you Skyfield.
Oh, really? I am not about the stadium seating. No. I just like one big row.
No, I don't like that. Not a fan of that.
I will not do stadium seating. I don't care how cramped my bench is. I'll move things off the mat if I have to. All right. See, JW just retreating. He's got DCE in deck. I don't know why he's going to retreat there, though. He wants to save the Choice Painted Zoroark. He knows that's important. But I don't think it actually matters. I think...
Yeah, I mean, if he retreats, I don't know. I mean, I guess it makes sense.
Did he prize his Guzma?
He could have prized Guzma.
I think he showed us his deck. Like, he might have just prized the... Because the Guzma's not in his deck. It's not in his discard pile, or else he'd have game.
He probably has it in his last 2 prizes.
It must be in his last 2 prizes.
It looks like he's going to go for the end. All right, can Otto rip some crazy stuff off his end?
So that's why JW is considering the retreat there, because he knows that he might not have Guzma for game.
Yeah. He could rip it off of this if he takes this knockout.
Both players' decks are very small. Otto's hand was pretty large, though. He did have a few things in it, so I think Otto's deck is bigger than JW's. Otto's only going to get 2 cards there. He didn't play the DCE
All right,
down.
get it?
Wait, what? Oh, so he took the knockout. Otto is going to draw. He's got 3 cards in hand.
I don't.
He's kind of mulling things around. The only thing he could do if he doesn't have it is promote Zoroark and pass.
Right.
That's
I think he needed to attach that DCE.
attaching the DCE
last turn.
probably would have been for the best. I can't believe we haven't seen a field blower yet.
Yeah.
What in the world is going on? No field blowers at all this entire game.
Well, JW played one on first turn or on second turn or something.
On the second
but
turn.
like not since they've gotten the Garb lock out, both of them.
Yeah, that is crazy. This Garb is really just stuck. He's got
He's
special
got
charge versus Seeker.
See, he would attach the DCE.
Then he just had Guzma.
Yeah. Well, I guess he can't knock anything out on this
He can't.
field.
2, 4, 6,
He
8,
does have
10,
Colress
12.
down.
He does have Colress, so he could Colress.
Yeah.
But does he even have field blower in his deck? I feel like they're both prized. That or one might be discarded.
He might have discarded one, but he does play 2.
He might have burned through one early.
Ninetales has the same ability as Lycanroc Gravesaw, Lycanroc GX.
All right, so Otto, considering his options for his Versus Seeker, I think he probably has to go Colress here and just draw out the rest of his deck. But if he doesn't have Field Blower, then that is a real tough situation. I don't think...
One's in the discard.
Okay, so there is a Field Blower in the discard pile, and the other one's probably prized.
Yeah.
And then I don't think that Otto actually has a Choice Band left. Does he have a Choice Band left? I don't think I saw it. Right?
Looks like
he's only playing 2.
he is only playing 2.
And his dowsing machine's gone.
Yeah.
So I think
he could. I mean, he could have one more.
I think he's out of options. I think Otto is out of resources to pull this game out, and I think JW probably just has it. And I think if the resources were in his deck, I think Otto would have.
Otto does have a band
thank
left.
you, Riley. I didn't see it, but.
I think he's just got a Colress.
He's got a Colress for it then, but does he have the Pokemon?
You might
then?
add and say there's probably some hang up here.
There's some hang up. It's either Choice Band or he doesn't have the Pokemon to knock out a Zoroark, or he doesn't have the Field Blower in order to Field Blower and pop the eggs out for game. There's got to be something that Otto is missing, I think, in order to be...
He's counting Pokemon right now, yeah.
Right. There's got to be some sort of hang up. I think he wouldn't be worried if he knew that there was the Field Blower in deck and he could just Field Blower and go and get his eggs and his Giratinas out the discard pile. He would be totally fine. So there's something going on. He's just going to Colress. He knows he needs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He knows he needs 3 Pokemon, a Choice Band, and a double colorless here off
Field
of
prize,
a Colress for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. A Colress for 12. Can he do it? And is there even resources left in Otto's deck in order DC, Choice Band?
They get to Klefki. Oh,
Shaman, he's got the entire deck.
Oh, he drew the entire deck, so I don't know if he's either...
He doesn't have it.
Oh.
We see JW extending the hand. He would have slammed it down if he had it.
Special charge.
He'll put the DCEs back in his deck, but he doesn't have Pokemon, and that Field Blower is prized. So it's not going to work. There's no Faba in these lists either, so Faba was not an option. This is tough. I do like Faba as a Versus Seekerable option for removing tools. I think
Shaman,
it's
Klefki,
really
he doesn't have
strong.
it.
This is just a tough break here. I think that's it. He just doesn't have what he needs. JW only has 1 prize remaining. So that's probably just going to be game, and JW's going to take it to 3-0 unless there's something that we're missing here. Otto could go for Paralyzing Gaze, but he needs to do some...
Oh, he's going to do it. Yep.
He needs to do some damage here. That's it. He needs to do some damage. Paralyzing Gaze doesn't do any damage. So he could, stall him out a turn, but JW's got it. That's it. And he's going to be able to... Let's see. JW only has 1 prize left.
Yeah, he's...
So what's he doing?
I don't... Yeah, they're just talking.
I think. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
I was going to say, he didn't have it. So that's it. JW takes it.
Guzma's last prize for JW.
Gosh. So
Otto prizes the Field Blower. Flip over the Field Blower,
crazy set. What a crazy set. So that is insane. Oh, my gosh. So... crazy games all around. Otto had prized his final field blower there, so wasn't able to draw the field blower in order to remove Garbodor, get his eggs and his Giratinas out of the discard pile there. JW last prized his Guzma, so actually was not able to Guzma that entire game. And crazy that he was able to come out on top.
Yeah, that was
my gosh.
that was a crazy game for sure.
That was insane. I cannot believe that JW pulled that one off with no copies of Guzma. The Garbodor was very strong in that matchup there. That was very good. As I said previously, these are lists that Otto and Riley have been working a lot on. That list there that Otto was piloting, JW's. Dak was taking a lot from Riley's list as well, and also JW and I have been testing some kind of all-in Zoroark decks last night too. So kind of just a conglomeration of all of our Teamworks ideas there. Both of them obviously good friends sharing lots of ideas together. So a very friendly match between JW and Otto. JW will move on to 3-0 at our league challenge though. Otto dropping to 2-1. Both players still in contention for some top 4 points and prizing here at the league challenge. I have to imagine that was a pretty long game.
Yeah, that was. I'll go check and see what's going on.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you, Natalie. So Natalie's going to check and see what the next rounds are looking like as far as who we get to see for round 4 at the Full Grip Games Expanded League Challenge. Thank you all so much for checking out the stream tonight. And for your guys' support, for all the subs. Appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Been a great time. Thank you, Gravesaw, for the Twitch sub as well. Appreciate it for all the support, Gravesaw. You rock. Awesome stuff there. That was a crazy set. Zoroark mirrors are really intense here. I think that's something to look forward to from the Anaheim Regional Championship. Zoroark is definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with at Anaheim. Whether it be Turbo Zoroark like we saw there, well, I guess they're like Zoro Garb, but I kind of classify them as Turbo Zoroark. All right, who do we have, Natalie?
Darren and JW.
Darren O'Meara.
Yes, Darren
is going to be on the right there.
Yeah, on the right.
Okay.
And Chris Phillip wants to commentate, so he's going to come back and commentate this round.
Oh, okay.
Darren is playing Drampa Garb, I believe.
Okay, so we got Darren O'Meara.
One R.
Can you help?
1 R.
Okay, Darren, yep. Natalie's just going to spell it for me. Thank you, Natalie. Appreciate it. Darren O'Meara. Well, there's an apostrophe. You didn't trust me to put the apostrophe in?
I just typed it for you.
And JW Krewell on the left. We got Chris Fulop going to be guest star commentating back here. How you doing, Chris?
Oh, Pokemon sucks.
Oh, no.
No.
Chris.
Pokemon does not suck. I just do.
Oh,
it was
no,
a bad tournament.
Chris.
Bad tournament.
All right. Well, tell me what happened.
Oh, I played Darren round 1, and he had I played Trevenant.
Oh,
and,
no.
I didn't draw very well. I don't play Expanded, so I probably didn't play very well.
Yeah.
And he had the Giratina.
Okay.
I got a spot where, like...
What is Darren playing?
He's playing Drumpagarb.
Okay, Drampagarb with Giratina?
With the promo. The Giratina promo to shut off Trevenant Break.
Okay.
So I couldn't use my... okay,
here, let's get you kind of...
try not to break the camera here.
Yeah, there we go.
Self-deprecation. But no, he got the Giratina promo out early, so I couldn't use my breaks to attack with, and then I had to play a bunch of items.
Yeah.
I got a spot where like I couldn't draw extra Phantoms. And then I couldn't draw my counter catchers either, so like I couldn't strand anything. But I did get to a point where like I hit a couple of ends to one at the end. I hit it into one, stuck it, but to be able to actually win the game, I had to get a breakout. And if I had 2 turns of spread, then I would win the game. It was 1 turn of spread and then a Tapu Lele promo.
Close. Yeah,
and I mean, he's needed an energy or like a supporter to get an energy. So like there were a lot of outs, and I had to break the item lock by evolving into the break for 1 turn.
Got
it. He made a couple mistakes. He was saying that let me back into the game potentially. And he's not wrong. Like there's no way. I got pretty far behind. I shouldn't have been able to win that potentially.
To win that match, yeah. All right, so we've got JW with Turbo Zoroark Garbodor on the left and Darren on the right with Drampa Garb. Should be an interesting match. Trashlands should be very good here. I think that JW's deck should play a fair amount of items, but not necessarily. Both decks do play Garbodor, so I think JW's deck is prepared for that. It's got 2 field blowers in the list which should allow him to continue to draw even while Garbodor is activated. We do have JW's list. Yeah.
A deck list here. I mean, it's going to be hard to process it because, like I said, I'm not particularly. Last time I really played Expanded, Eveltal EX. EX was top tier.
Right.
So I'm a little outdated on this.
All right. Looks like both players are getting ready to get started here. JW is starting with Sudowoodo, it appears, and Darren also has a Sudowoodo.
So we have a temporary mirror match.
This is very interesting. Darren's going to be playing first, but the Sudowoodo, I imagine, is something that Darren really wants in this matchup to limit JW's
and JW doesn't want to see
bench.
it at all.
Right.
It's just clogging up an already cramped bench space as a result of the other Sudowoodo.
So JW is like, okay, I guess I am setting up Garbodor myself, right? That's just kind of where he's at. Like, I think Darren might try to stream Trash Lanches here. He's kind of conflicted. He likes Sudowoodo, but he also wants Garb. So I think he kind of will rely on both.
It's probably it's flexible. Like, he can kind of see where the game takes it.
Exactly.
Whether he can take it into a Garbotoxin or into the Trash Lanche later on.
Well, I think it's good because, I mean, conversely, Darren can set up the ability Garbodor, and then when JW does Field Blower, he is then stopped by the Sudowoodo.
Right.
So he has to leave the Garbodor up. I like that kind of double check that Darren's going to have on the board state. So that is very strong for Darren. I imagine that Darren will still set up Garbodor either way. But, JW is kind of just going to have to build a board state where he has a strong enough board even with Garbodor in play.
Yeah, so
taking a look here, this matchup, let's see, Darren just has 2 Trubbish in play, and that's it. JW is starting off with a Battle Compressor, and we'll see if he's got a Versus Seeker in his hand in order to help draw, maybe hand select a supporter card. We do see the Elm come straight to the top, so I'm thinking that he probably does have a Versus Seeker in hand and is going to be fetching out 3 Pokemon. Now, I'd be interested to see if JW does opt to get the Trubbish out. Is he going to commit to Garbodor, even though his opponent will probably set it up for him?
I think you kind of have to force the issue, right?
You do.
Potentially.
I think
you don't have to go with it, but you have to at least represent the fact that you could potentially try.
Right. Like if Darren decides to never set up Garbodor, then JW wants to at least have the option to slap a Garbodor into play at a moment's notice. So at the very least, you get Ditto Prism Star. And you say, well, this could be a Zoroark, this could be a Garbodor. We'll kind of see. Or maybe you don't get Ditto Prism Star because he could evolve into Garbodor and make the Ditto just horrible, right?
It's another bench spot issue there, yeah.
Exactly.
No, so which deck do you think is favored? I mean, I know what side I would be on here if I was, I think personally, I'd rather be on Darren's side.
I think personally I'd rather be on JW's side. I think that I have a little bit of a bias against Garbodor decks. I
don't like them. So.
I think they draw horribly. So
not against me.
I think for the most part,
I got to be rooting for my tiebreakers.
I think that JW hopefully will be able to limit the amount of Pokemon or amount of items. Don't go for the Ditto. We decided the Ditto was dangerous. I think that JW should hopefully be able to limit the amount of items that he has in the discard pile and probably just take some aggressive knockouts that should put Darren on the back foot. That being said, if Darren can stream Trashalanche for high numbers, he's going to do just fine. So I feel like it should be a close matchup at the very least.
I would imagine that even with just the Drampas are able to at least disrupt JW's game plan enough to the point where he has to expend resources.
This is true.
So just being able to strip away the DCEs is going to at least make it so that he can't just play a super conservative game. So the odds that it'll eventually get to the point where Trashalanche is a problem is kind of a little bit more likely.
I think I like that. That is true. Yeah, I hadn't quite considered that. Is it Righteous Edge still? Is that what it's called?
I have no idea. I just know it does 20 damage for colorless.
It does 20 damage and removes a special energy. I think Drampa's, we'll call it Righteous Edge. Sure, Drampa's Righteous Edge, I think, will be a big deal, should be a big deal in this matchup since JW is only playing the 4 copies of double colorless energy, 1 special charge. Special charge could be tough to find under Garbodor's Garbotoxin. So that's something that we want to look out for as well. And then also if Darren plays Faba. That could be a deciding factor in the game, too.
I want to say he does. I know he plays Acerola. And I don't... Does JW have a way to one-shot a Drampa? I don't think he does.
He plays Skyfield.
Okay, then
JW is playing a Skyfield version of Zoroark.
Remember, guys, don't play Expanded.
He could play... think of it kind of like the old Mega
Well,
Ray.
not with the Sudowoodo, though.
Not with the Sudowoodo. So JW needs to get out Garbodor and then have a full bench. So the Garbodor needs to lock the Sudowoodo out, and then he can spread his bench out to 8 with Skyfield, and then he can knock out a Drampa. Yeah, or 7 in a choice band. Or no, it actually is not 7 in a choice band. It's just 9. He just needs 9 Pokemon in play. Yeah, can't do it with the choice band because Drampa has 180 hit points. So
let's find Darren's list.
What is that water Pokemon in Darren's list?
Who's that Pokemon?
I imagine it would be Tapu Fini, I think, is the only one that would make sense to me. Tapu Fini GX, but I don't actually know. I didn't see it, so...
I will find out momentarily.
All right, do you have Darren's list? We do have Darren's list here, so... I don't think there is a water. It might have been a mistake.
I think we've been lied to. No, we have not been lied to. I'm pretty sure that is a...
Barbaracle.
That's how you pronounced it.
There is a Barbaracle. So Darren is playing Barbaracle.
Bonus points if you know what it does.
I do know what it does. Barbaracle can evolve from Ditto Prism Star. I believe that he's
hold
probably...
on, I think I got it. That's the one that locks them out of stadiums or something, isn't it?
Locks them out of attaching special energy from their hand.
If you have a stadium in play.
They have to have a stadium in play in order to attach special energy from their hand.
Took me a bit.
Yes, but we're almost there. Yeah.
All right, but let's focus back on the game.
So Darren evolves into the Garbodor there, so is just being proactive with that. Wants to lock JW out of abilities, and then will garbage collection to throw a card onto the top of his deck there. Very cool stuff. I don't think the Barbaracle will come into play this game. I think that that is just a cute little tech there. It's cool. Could prevent your opponent from being able to even play special energy, especially if Darren is playing Faba. He can kind of Faba lock his opponent out of energy and maybe Lusamine Stadium's back. I'm not sure if he's playing Lusamine, but it's an option.
So this is both for the viewing audience and for myself.
Sure.
What matchups is the Barbaracle for?
I believe it would probably be for like Night March, I guess, or like. But I mean, you could play other cards for Night March, like you could play Oricorio, you could play Karen. There's a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, no, that's an interesting one for me.
So I'm not exactly sure what it's for. Maybe it's for Zoro Control. Maybe you say like they play more stadiums than Zoro Control does. So they will just out stadium Zoro Control deck. But Zoro Control deck plays a Rangaroo, so they'll just get it back.
Like kind of a losing battle there.
I don't know what the Barbaracle's for.
I feel like, and I don't think we haven't had a major expanded event since Lost Thunder, have we?
Not since Lost Thunder. The last winning
Portland,
deck
right?
was Portland and Jimmy
pre-Lost.
Pendarvis. Yes, and it was Seismitoad, Zoroark. So Faba was not.
And Faba seems like it's going to have a huge impact in the format,
It should,
right?
right? Because lock decks can now just obliterate special energy from play. They just remove them from play completely. So
but at the same time, don't a lot of the lock decks run very few energies themselves? And
yes, they do. So now
Faba in a really long grinding game as well.
Yes.
So you can lock them off of Sableye, or you can lock them off of Oranguru, or whatever the recursion choice is.
Yes.
So
Faba should be a pretty big deal. Decks like Wailord, decks like Seismitoad should be running them.
On Wailord.
I know. These decks should all be playing their own Faba. And, with many lists only running 4 double colorless energy. I mean, JW is only running 4 double colorless energy here on the left.
Darren's up quite a bit more. He's up at 9.
Yeah, so still not a lot. When a double colorless energy reliant deck gets all their energy shipped to the Lost Zone, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
So we see Darren does get the Drampa GX in the active position with the teammates. So that was very good. I think JW has to just pass. Doesn't have anything going on. No field blower, no attacks. I think that you might have been right here, Chris. It looks like Darren is quickly taking control of this matchup.
Yeah, it just feels like it's really easy for Darren to put the pressure on JW to have stuff, basically. And he could fall kind of far behind, and there is inevitability towards Darren, I think.
Right.
And this is, again, like you said, he doesn't have trade, so he's probably much more prone to kind of like self-destructing, but Garbodor also takes away the trade.
Between the parallel cities, the Garbotoxin Garbodor, Drampa removing your energy, and then Faba as well.
And the Sudowoodo,
And the
kind of check. There's just so many weapons pressuring the Zoroark deck.
There are. I think at this point, now that I'm kind of seeing the whole picture painted for me here, feels like there's very little JW can do.
And once the game progresses to the point where eventually there will be items in the discard pile, you just can't really avoid that over the span of a long game in this kind of matchup.
Right. Or eventually the Drampa is just going to start swinging for 180 damage.
Yeah, as a Trevenant player, I couldn't really get around that.
Couldn't really get around that. Right. So you were playing Trevenant, you damaged his bench Pokemon, and then here comes Drampa.
Yeah, he actually didn't get to swing with it because keep the DCs off with enhanced hammers.
Okay.
And I also walked into Trash Avalanche so heavily that it was just inefficient comparatively to be using the Drampa. Oh, we got a dinner poll in chat here.
I do see a dinner poll in the chat. Guys, you're making me hungry. Quit it.
It's Chipotle, though.
It is,
get Chipotle.
I had Chipotle for lunch. I can't get Chipotle
You
for
can
dinner.
double down.
I can double down.
I remember in college, I had a challenge to eat Chipotle 4 times in one day.
Oh, no.
Let's just say I'm not fat on accident. So
Oh, no.
I killed those burritos.
All right. So big draw here from... Ooh, what do we got going on? Okay, so JW's got the field blower. So he's on the play now. Here we go.
But even with the field blower, does that... I mean, it's a step 1. It's definitely step one.
Yeah. So, I mean, he needs to... Let's see. He's got a Klefki to his Ditto Prism Star.
You got to get that out of your potential draws later on somehow, right?
Just needs to get it out of play, yeah. So that's tough. But I think JW might just... I mean, has he traded yet?
But even just using the field blower, that's one more item towards Trash Avalanche.
Oh, for sure. See, he could propagate. He's looking at maybe an Ultra Ball or something like that in order to maybe set up, draw more cards. He needs to, I think, he's got to take out
someone in
the
chat's also
Drampa.
pointing out the fact that, no, it's not an item on the Garbodor. So the JW's Sudowoodo comes back on, so Darren actually has to pitch something.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. So I wonder when they'll
do you want
figure
me to
that
run
out.
over and...
Sure, yeah, Chris.
Is Natalie able to do that since she's already kind of...
Oh, yeah,
she's
Natalie.
reading somehow.
Oh, yeah, if Natalie's out there, she could just,
Do you want me to
fix
run?
it. Here, let's see. Natalie, make sure that someone...
run just to be safe.
All right, Chris is going to do it. Yeah, so it's in the other room. Yeah, we're going to need to delete something on Darren's bench over there because JW's Sudowoodo is activated. So, yeah, we'll get there eventually. What's up, Chandler? Chandler keeps sneaking into my studio. One day he'll come on camera. But right, so Darren, chooses to pitch the Lele. They got that sorted out. That's good. JW is setting up his board still, trying to figure out what can he do on his turn with abilities. He wants to have a strong draw here. Obviously, knocking out the Drampa is something that he feels like he has to do. But he finds an N with the Tapu Lele. So he's going to Wonder Tag, grab N, and just play it. So limit Darren down while shuffling up himself. N feels fine here. He gets the N out of his deck as well. Maybe he'll draw cards like Colress, a stronger draw supporters later in the game as his hand starts to kind of whittle down, or the deck starts to whittle down to fewer resources. Thanks for running, Chris.
Yeah, no problem. Natalie was a little distracted by Food Quest. Don't do Five Guys though.
No, too greasy. Yeah.
No, and I'm also a huge burger snob.
Oh, are you?
So I struggle eating kind of fast food or even the tier above it. I got to go somewhere nice for a burger.
Oh, okay. So you're telling me
One of the
Applebee's doesn't cut it? An Applebee's burger.
First of all, if your Applebee's is half price appetizers, that's the only reason you wind up there. So I don't want to think about eating a burger from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We see JW start to go in for some trade action here. Looking for the Skyfield with the explosive turn for basics, but he's got to get all the basics in his hand, and he needs to get a Garbodor. That's what he needs.
Put on the Ditto, right?
Put on the Ditto. So he needs a big combo here. And he will have the egg at his disposal. That's an option because he'll be able to bring the egg back before he lays down all the Pokemon. But he needs them all to be in his hand, which is super tough. And he only gets it off of 2 trades. So he would need to draw a ton here. He may opt to just get... I don't think he could win if he... Yeah, he needs to get the Garbodor. I don't think he could win. I was going to say if he gets a... See, did he Ultra Ball the? I hope he didn't Ultra Ball the egg away and just lay that Garbodor down without taking the egg back out.
Let
I feel like
me
he might
also
need
say
that.
this much.
Yeah.
Darren is running 3 parallel cities.
3. Oh.
So let's say that this Garbotoxin gets established. The odds that it doesn't then just, I mean, how many Pokemon does JW have? Like, if he's got to hit
JW forgot to propagate first. Oh, he's just gonna pass. Okay, I was gonna say
because there's just so much stuff he has to hit.
Right.
Like,
so, I mean, that's the thing. Darren probably can just lay down another parallel city, like you said. It's gonna be very, very.
We're getting some discussion about Applebee's.
I do see that in the chat. I was checking in on that. Yeah. Listen, I am a big Applebee's fan. As much as I do acknowledge that
we know what it is.
We know what it is,
right?
But I end up there pretty often.
Same. I think it's like it's that neutral choice that everybody can kind of
choice.
like. Nobody's excited to go there, but nobody hates it.
Exactly.
Except for really edgy people, I guess.
And the price is it's pretty on point. It's like it's fine.
No, it's
you
get really. No.
Yeah.
I was gonna go into a tirade about their drink menu, but I'm gonna
back to
that.
the game. All right. So on Darren's side of the field, we do see a basic Psychic Energy come down onto that Drampa, and he's going to be able to slug away for what 80 damage with the. Is that I can't see if there's a die on JW's side.
I don't believe so. No. I mean, what would have come from?
But I think that Darren would have had to have attacked, right? Did Darren attack? I don't see the damage. So Darren would have had to have attacked, right? So...
Oh, were they just waiting for die? That could also very well be the case.
They have dice over there. I think they're just either so small that I can't see them.
Yeah.
Or there was...
I think there might be blue dice on that Zoroark.
I think there might be blue dice on the Zoroark. There should be... I imagine that Darren used...
Don't we normally mandate special stream dice for this?
I have them over there. I don't know. I can't talk to them from here.
No.
So... there is dice. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Can't see it well and or at all.
My screen is very small compared to... Because I have to run the splitter, so... All right.
Oh, well, actually on the side...
I see
here,
it now.
You can see it.
I can't
and
see it.
And confirmed no damage on Darren's bench.
Got it.
One other thing I do want to point out that...
oh, sweet. They switched. There's 100 on there.
Oh,
Thank goodness. All right. That makes sense. There's a Righteous Edge and there's a Berserk. All right. There we go. Right. So, good stuff.
But no, the thing that kind of came up, and I'm assuming that Darren hasn't used his GX attack yet, but Big Wheel GX, when you're dealing with Garbodors in play, and say examples like trade being cut off,
right?
You do get that one reset to be able to get a new hand,
right?
And when both players are threatening, especially if both of them get the tool on it, you can't really. I mean, I guess you could blow away your own tool, but it's still a lot of stuff to be able to do. If you have a parallel plus a tool on both Garbodors, shut out the Sudowoodo, let's say JW puts a tool on his first. There's just being able to have the GX attack to draw into a real hand.
I do like that. I do like that.
I don't know how often it'll come up, but
I feel like it's got to pretty often. You at least give yourself kind of a re-up after an end to low. I mean, this deck doesn't have built-in draw like Zoroark does, so it needs something to kind of refresh the hand later in the game, especially after an end to 1, end to 2 scenario. So we see JW. Oh, and here comes the big bench turn. He's got it this turn, I think. He's got to have a knockout on this Drampa.
Right?
He's got the choice band on the Garb, so we'll see. I mean, if Darren has parallel, it's going to be bad. I know JW was only playing 1 copy of Rescue Stretcher. I think I like 2. Just to help recoup some of these Pokemon in more grindy matchups like this.
I mean, you have the executes.
Right, but it's just a grindy matchup, though, because the abilities are going to keep getting shut off. So you need to be able to recoup Pokemon without using their abilities. So I think I like just being able to chuck more Pokemon back into the deck. But I don't know if JW's played his rescue. And sure
there's
enough,
the parallel, and that's...
that stings. Yeah, I don't think JW's played his Rescue Stretcher yet, so that is an option. He does have to throw 1 more, so he's only going to have his Zoroarks there. Darren just with the 3 parallels. So brutal.
Hey, chat, anyone have any idea of the item counts?
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, no idea what the item counts are. We're just out here winging it, so...
See, that's what I feel like whenever a Garbodor is involved, you got to put Natalie on just item duty.
Oh, yeah.
Keep her just tally it up for us.
I do really like a high parallel count. I think a high parallel count is very strong in an oppressive deck like Drampa Garb here. It's very cool. I love the interaction between Faba and Parallel. The fact that you can just lost zone your opponent's Parallel and then switch the table on them and just kind of keep that Parallel lock in your favor with Faba in tandem with Parallel. So a lot of times the downfall of playing high Parallel counts is that it might get locked out. So you do have Field Blower and Faba, which both can allow you to reverse the effect of that in any sort of matchup. So I do like that. That's cool as well.
One thing that I do also want to point out that is kind of interesting is JW is running a Delinquent.
Yes, he is.
So that is able to take away Parallel Cities fairly easily. And also, when you have a deck like Darren's that doesn't have a lot of auxiliary draw power, those 3 cards are going to add up.
You could stick it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That could definitely stick. I do love Delinquent and Zoroark decks. It allows for you to just catch your opponent off guard sometimes. Removing parallels is fantastic as well. We see Darren just opt for slow and steady here. No reason to berserk.
That's how it's supposed to work the matchup. Although the one thing that I do want to point out here that is not good is he doesn't have any Trebushes in play.
No.
And he probably at some point wants to transition over to actually being able to use Trash Lands, right? To sweep.
Right. So I do see JW go in 80 damage there with a bursting ballooned Zoroark. So he's saying if you hit into this one, it's going to hurt. It's going to take 60.
Is a Floatstone on the Sudowoodo for Darren?
I think there is a Floatstone there on the Sudowoodo. Darren does not, like you said, is not going to be able to transition to Trash Lands here very easily. Unless he Field Blowers, I guess. He's got the Field Blower. He could evolve that Ditto Prism Star if he Field Blowers, which would be a cool little turn there that he could pull off.
Yeah, I think it's just... I think he wants to keep the Garbotoxin in play, right? Because he's just going to be able to attack the...
He does. He doesn't want JW to trade at all.
But he does want to get rid of the Bursting Balloon.
So he
and I guess the choice band
will remove these, and then I imagine he's got to have...
Just take away the DC, right?
I think I would love to see a Trash Lands evolution here, and then
he didn't take away the...
He
left the choice band.
Oh, he left the choice band. Yes, I agree.
Like, you just want to run down JW's resources here, kind of establish something.
I agree. I was assuming that if JW or if Darren was taking off JW's choice band, that he was going to have the replacement tool on his own Garbodor. That's what I would have thought. And I also would have thought that maybe if he was taking that gap turn to evolve the Ditto Prism Star up, if he maybe had that in his hand. But it looks like he's just going to, continue staying strong and Righteous Edging all the energy away.
I would also like to point out that I'm looking at JW's list, and I don't believe he runs any way to get rid of his own...
Plays 2 Field Blower.
Does he?
Yes.
Where,
I think he plays 2 copies of Field Blower, at least 1. He definitely plays at least 1 in there, or he should. I think.
I'm not seeing it.
Huh. So
there's nothing on the back. I don't see any Field Blower.
No Field Blower. It's got to be a Field Blower. I think.
His handwriting's pretty reasonable.
Unless he cut them. Oh, I'm not seeing them here on the list. So I don't know. Yeah, JW forgot the Field Blowers.
Well, he just can't Garbotoxin now.
Oh,
so as long as Darren's not going to do that.
Wild. I know that JW, I think, is playing Field Blower. I saw a Field Blower earlier, so he might have just forgot to write them on the list, which, oops.
Well, let me.
But anyways, that's fine. We'll deal with that after the game and figure out what the next step is going to be. I know he did write this up in a rush, but anyways, I know he does at least play 1 copy that I've seen there. So he might have double written something or just forgot about it altogether.
Oh, he did.
He double wrote something?
He has 2 Floatstone listed twice.
All right. So that other 2 Floatstone needs to be a 2 Field Blower. So, all right, JW. That's unfortunate.
Yeah,
Deck list errors. Got to watch out for that, guys. Tough stuff.
You can't get away with that. We're not in Virginia.
No, yeah. Oh, yikes. Ooh. Yeah. So we got Darren.
I had a lot of fun in Roanoke, all right?
We got Darren just continuing to just plug away with that Righteous Edge, Berserk.
Can I throw out
They're
a hot
back
take,
to
by the
using
way?
the blue dice. I don't know. Is it appropriate, Chris?
Yes, it is.
All right. Then, yeah, go ahead.
Yikes. I was just going to say that, and there's a very reasonable chance that this just is a draw. Just by the nature of how Darren has to approach this matchup from here on out.
That's
And
crazy.
I don't necessarily believe that JW can take enough prizes.
I don't think
without drawing very, very well. And I don't think Darren's taking all 6 of his. I think he's still at 6, right?
he's still at 6, or yeah, it looks like Darren is still at 6. I don't think he's actually knocked anything out.
He's playing the controlling role even more than the Zoroark deck, surprisingly.
Right. So I'm not sure that he's going to be able to.
I don't actually know what the time limit is what the time's currently at.
I feel like it's been pretty long so far, though. Yeah, like for sure.
We've got to pass the 20-minute mark.
Right.
Minimum.
So for Darren to take all 6 prizes would be pretty tough.
Especially without the Garbodor in play.
Right. Right, for sure.
Although that's Shaman's step 1, right?
I do like that. I feel like not a lot of decks are playing like AZ, or not a lot of the Zoroark decks that I've been seeing. I think AZ is still like a valid card.
I love that card.
Yeah, AZ's really good. Just to get you out of situations.
Is it better than
heal. I think it's better than Acerola. I think so. Just because the way that the control decks work is that they a lot of times will just counter catcher something up that just is easy to strand. It might not have any damage on it,
right.
And they just will resource management instead of like using Quaking Punch. So the AZ allows you to get out of the the counter catcher stall, which I really like. Yeah.
This is like a bit of an inbred thought from here at this point, but are decks still playing like the 1-1 split on Guzma Lysander if they're going more than one of them?
I think a lot of decks are just all in on Guzma because
it's just so good
of the switch effect.
Right. I was going to run a Lysander and Trevenant, which is like one of the rare decks where I feel like that would be
appropriate.
Correct.
Yeah. No, I agree. All right, and coming down here from Darren, he's kind of playing a little quicker here, since that he needs to.
Is that like a blood in the water pace of play?
I think he's feeling like, yeah, I need to actually do something here this game, actually. So I think he's gonna, try to actually take some prizes here. Now, what I haven't seen from Darren is, does he have any way to self-damage?
I don't believe so.
Which I feel like is just really tough from you need to play rainbow.
His run one rainbow.
Just one?
Does it? Does it take 1 damage count or 2 on the?
All you need is a damage counter.
So yeah, he has the ability to do it.
A damage counter. So that's really tough. Yeah, JW has not damaged anything yet. So not damaged anything on the bench. So, yeah, that Berserk is not doing 150 damage like it would if Darren had some damage.
Like missing a KO here is just
that's
massive.
Rough. I mean, that's just another turn. But we know that JW just has
field. So if he does manage to play his
take another knockout
float stone to get rid of the choice band.
Oh yeah, right. So let's see. We've got Delinquent. Obviously Parallel still in play. I think he's just going for big draw off Colress. And when I say big, that's in air quotes because this is like a Colress for 7 here.
Hey, we take 7.
Oh, 7's not bad. I mean, it's not like the busted Colress for 16 that you might get when you have fully loaded Skyfields. But
have you ever been in a position where playing your callers would deck you?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, for sure. That happens all the time.
Let me check on JW. I think he does.
So JW does have his own field blower here. No, he's going to field blower just the Parallel. Oh, and his own choice band to give himself some outs to trade as well. He could trade 3 times. So I'm not exactly sure. Oh, he does have a special charge in his hand as well. So he's going to be shuffling his double colorless back.
Play Acerola or any healing cards as far as I can tell.
I'm telling you, I like
the AZ. I don't agree with that.
I like
for what it's worth.
And AZ. Just one. Just for the controlling decks.
I still think you want to live. If you're only playing one or the other, I think Acerola is too important to be able to get the DCEs and stuff back.
That's fair.
In a Zoroark deck.
That's fair. I think, I don't know. I think things like Garbodor get stranded a lot, things like that. There are just some weird targets. Getting the DC back is huge, which is really nice. But I guess I found with like controller decks, a lot of times your DC are just getting removed anyway.
I like AZ a lot just with like Shaman EXs and Tapu Lele.
Shaman EX is really
later.
cool.
With Shaman more so than the Lele, because obviously like a little awkward to use your supporter to bounce a guy that gets a supporter, but it's like a 2-turn process that kind of opens up your toolbox again.
Yeah. I do like it with Shaman though. It's nice to just bounce it up sometimes and then just like lay it back down if you need to.
I almost played some nonsense Mega Gardevoir Giratina deck.
Oh, yeah.
Today, that was going to run an AZ in it.
I think...
Because you do like the whole Hoopa Jirachi EX, Shaman, get rid of them all.
Right.
And then, so.
I think JW only has 3 cards left in deck. And I don't think he has the knockout here. I think he needs to trade one more time. And needs something to not be his last card. Like, I think that's where he's at right now.
Well, what is he at?
Right now, he's
only hitting for 130, right? So it's like he needs a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know what's in his hand.
He's only hitting for 130. So he needs 3 Pokemon on the bench. He needs to fill his, let's see, so he's doing 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. He could do 8 Pokemon in play with a choice band. So he could do 190 that way, right? So he needs 8 Pokemon in play. He needs 7 bench Pokemon. He needs 3 to come to the bench right now. I think he just rescue stretchered, so he knows, like, what his final 3 cards are. But he's questioning whether or not he could afford to even trade, though.
I believe Darren's only played 2 of his parallels, correct?
Probably only.
Unless he
2.
would have pitched one to something else, which is I would not have remembered that. But
right. But with that Ditto Prism Star there, JW can finish the game off, even under parallel, if he takes this knockout here. So it looks like he's got a dowsing machine in his hand. That's going to allow him to get that rescue stretcher back. I really like that.
He has at least one more DCE in hand, right?
Hitting the, I think, is he going for rescue stretcher here? Let's see. He's going for... What is he going to get? Oh, the bursting balloon. Oh my gosh, because
right.
he needs to lock it up again.
Oh, to get the Garbodor back. So
to get the Garbodor back, right?
I was like,
pop the egg out first, don't you? I don't know. Anyways.
He might have enough in hand.
Does he have enough in hand to do it? Yeah, 1, 2. He does have enough in hand. All right.
And
so
he's got one
it.
card left?
And the Skyfield, yeah, before he benches all these Pokemon, I guess. All right, nice. Nice, JW. 1 card in deck. He needs
does he also have a Guzma? Or?
I don't know if he does. So I think he might be out unless he's got a Versus Seeker there in the final couple cards. He's got Guzma in his hand right now.
So
that's game if he does not evolve this Ditto. So that's it. That is it. Okay, so I think JW's got win in hand. Darren is not taking any prizes yet. Just tried to play the control, and
this is when it's trick shovel time.
Trick shovel time, right?
There are no trick shovels in this list.
Oh man, that is crazy. JW's really worked his deck down to the final card here. We see Darren kind of.
Yeah, no, this has been really well played out of JW.
I agree.
Exactly enough resources necessary.
Just enough. That dowsing machine was really clutch there.
How many cards are in JW's hand?
I think he's got at least like 6 or 7.
Okay. So some kind of like delinquent play is not going to do anything.
Nope. He's got at least 1 energy left. He played the special charge at the perfect time. He's got, I think, 2 DCEs in his hand and a Guzma. Maybe 1 or 2 DCs in his hand and a Guzma. So, tough stuff here. You got to imagine Darren's going for the end of 1. Yep. And that could be tough, I guess.
That could, yeah. I mean, that's very real.
JW needs a 2-card combo to win. So, that is tough. Darren is going to take 2 prizes. First prizes here, finally, on Zoroark. Fortunately, JW does have the free retreat with that Floatstoned Zoroark GX there, though.
Yeah, but he's going to have to Guzma and a DCE, and he's under Garbotoxin now. And I'm assuming he's pretty low on resources.
Right. Now, I think JW probably only has like 6 cards, probably like 8 cards in deck total, 7 cards in deck total, something like that.
So he really would need to hit the VS Seeker for a support. I don't know if did he have other supporters in his hand? I'm assuming like he might have
I think all I saw was the Guzma. Yeah. I think it might have been prized late.
Okay. Yeah, he did.
And just pulled it.
2 off his prizes.
Yep. Awesome. Thank you so much for the bits, Chama Drummer, and for encouraging JW there. Appreciate it. All right, let's see. So JW is going to... what are they? Rewinding? What's going on? Oh, yeah, that bursting balloon. Oh, they're reading the order in which things happen. So, like...
Oh, well, yeah, I'm glad I don't have to deal with that.
Yeah. I think, like... So they're wondering, like... Okay, so this is a valid question. So, like, bursting balloon... Yeah, I don't think it requires that Shaman get removed. Because I think... Well, the bursting balloon has to come off. But yes, the promotion happens first... Because there cannot at any time be no active Pokemon, yes. So there needs to promote, and then the bursting balloon, the Sudowoodo doesn't make it remove. So that's it.
Chat, impromptu professor quiz here. Right?
Yeah.
Let's figure it out.
So JW's got it. Obviously, the bursting balloon hits the discard pile, so he's able to trade away into his final cards to win the game. He's got DCE and Guzma. And that's it.
Oh, he actually. Okay, I'm watching the.
Yeah, you're watching the delayed version.
The delayed version because it's larger.
Yep, that is it. So JW
I completely
takes
forgot
it.
about the bursting balloon discarding.
Yeah. No, I thought it was going to be end of one, too. I was like, because he was locking it up with Choice Band previously.
That's actually a really cute interaction on the Garbodor, though. It's like, lets your opponent lose a turn of abilities.
One-sided.
Yeah.
It's nice. Yeah, it's like,
it's
it's
really
kind of acting like Hex used to, you know?
Right.
It's just giving that one-sided ability lock, and then I
like
get
how it took me to the
trading.
end of the game to realize that was the idea behind it.
Oh, wow, that's a really good idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is fun. So JW able to take that one. Awesome stuff there. He will move on to 4-0.
I feel like, and I know it's been a while since we were watching the stream and everything, but I feel like one of the big problems there was that Darren never got the
Damage.
He couldn't even threaten the Trash Avalanche.
He couldn't threaten the
That
Trash
Ditto.
Avalanche.
I don't know why that Ditto stayed in play after a series of.
Okay.
Ooh, that's good.
Nice. So
Well,
this is round 5, right?
5-5.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're both 3-1.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, Darren could never threaten Trash Avalanche. It was really weird. Yeah.
And I feel like that. There had to have been a point in that game where he could have started to position towards that.
I think so. There had
That
to.
did, especially with all of the. That Ditto should not have ended the game anywhere near still being in play with the way that the Garbotoxins were being leveraged.
Right. All right, so we got Brady on the left, Brady Botner, versus Otto, Rogue Champion, Belendran on the right. And we know Otto's got the Zoroark Garb deck, similar to what we just saw from JW. We got Lost March on the left. Otto is playing a pretty spicy list, though, which includes the Giratinas, which we saw, and we also have Tapu Koko,
which is a huge deal in this matchup.
Yeah. Weirdly enough, the...
Do we know if JW has the Fire Week hop-ups or the Lightning Week hop-ups?
Or if that's not JW, it's going to be Brady.
Yeah. I'm still looking at the other screen.
Yeah, it's going to be Brady.
JW's ones are hard.
Yeah. Brady is playing the Lightning Week.
So that's really bad.
That is very bad.
With Tapu Koko.
And the Zoroark deck is also playing a Professor Kukui. So
80.
The Tapu Koko could get in there for a pretty big flying flip there. Pretty substantial stuff with double Giratina. That snipe can really add up.
So while they're setting up, this is somewhat relevant to the match.
Sure.
But Lost March versus Night March.
Yes.
What are your feelings on that in Expander right now?
I think that Lost March is just better positioned right now. Honestly, Night March just... There are almost no techs happening for Night March. That being said, though, so I don't know. Night March could just be so sneaky.
Yeah. No,
go ahead.
Admittedly, I haven't seen updated lists for expanded Lost March.
Right.
But it feels like you will get a more consistent turn one knockout out of Night March.
You will.
Lost
Night March is the better deck. It is the better deck in a vacuum. Okay, without metas or anything like that, it is the stronger, more aggressive deck.
The question is is it even though?
I think so.
You do have the fact that the jump off attacks for basic energy, so you don't have to worry about, especially with Puzzle of Time's gone now.
Night March can attack for basic energy.
I guess with a
play D-Valley and Mew EX, just like back in the day. If you wanted to,
you use an actual Mew?
And you could use an actual Mew, yeah.
Because I wouldn't want to be playing Mew EX.
Exactly. So you have that option, you just don't need it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that Night March, just the difference between being able to battle compressor the Pokemon to the discard pile, you also have Marshadow as an option to attack as well. That option is just so much easier to work on than trying to get Pokemon to the Lost Zone. There are just so few effects that Lost Zone Pokemon
Battle Compressor
right now.
is just a stupid card.
It's an insane
I love that card, by the way. I'm so glad it's not
it.
banned. I actually believe that. I think it's good for the game. They've gotten rid of a lot of the toxic cards for it.
They have.
But I do want to address something in chat. I was asked if I'm going to play the new Eevee and Snorlax and Malamar.
Oh, what does the new Eevee and Snorlax do?
Tag teams things.
Oh,
I have no
it's
idea
just a
what it
colorless Pokemon and a tag.
Yeah, I'm
thing,
assuming it's.
All right, this is the
Honestly,
second time.
probably not.
Hold on, this is the second time I've seen Otto start with turn 1 Kukui. This is not what he wants, dude.
No,
not what he wants.
And
at
I don't
all.
think you have a lot of leeway in this matchup. And also, Brady opened with Natu, which is his potential turn 1 attacker.
That's his perfect
Going
turn 1
second.
attacker going second. Yes.
So.
And if Brady draws the way I've seen Brady draw, then Brady is looking for a turn 1 knockout here for sure.
Are you telling me that Brady draws well?
Brady draws hot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've
Brady
noticed that.
definitely draws hot. Yeah, for sure. So, yep. Yep, so we got Otto in here going in with the turn 1 Kukui. Only going to draw 2 cards for himself. I do see a Pokemon Communications here out
We're grabbing Otto's list here.
in Brady's hand. So Brady is going to be able to get a turn 1 Shaman potentially. You could also go get a Tapu Lele if he plays it. Looks like that's it for Otto. Otto just has the 2 Zoruas and pass. Nothing else going on in that hand. He's got a Zoroark, DCE, and a Bridget. The
Of course,
Bridget,
the last one I looked at is Otto's list.
the Bridget now, of course, a little too late. So Otto just got that Bridget into his hand off of the Kukui. He will likely go for a turn 2 Bridget, but
Now, let me also say, I don't think it's that big of a difference.
doesn't really matter.
Assuming he can still get a DC in his Zoroark,
which he has.
then he's still going to get the knockout. Like, you're not doing that much on your turn 1
Right.
with Zoroark, at least not in this matchup. To
Right.
the point where, like, you're
I
falling
think I
completely
see
behind.
the Elm and a Bridget in his. Did this man Kukui into Elm and Bridget?
I just want to believe so.
I
yeah.
think he did. I think
All
he
right,
must
what do
have. I think he Kukui'd into Elm and Bridget turn 1.
Just the full Robins.
That is wild. Brady, on the other hand, let's see, plays Pokecom, gets a Pokemon out of his deck. He's got Natu, and then it will be that beautiful Full Art Shaman EX.
Beautiful. That's the ugly one.
That is the beautiful
No,
Full Art
that's-
Shaman EX. Alrighty.
That is not the one I opened like 500 packs of Roaring Skies for
To
online to
find,
find.
I
all right?
know.
I don't want this
I like-
budget shaman.
My favorite Shaman is just the regular art one from Roaring Skies. I do like that one a lot.
I like Fat Hedgehog's shaman.
Oh
I don't
gosh.
Like, that's what Skyform
Uh-huh.
is this one. Yeah, I just there's no way to salvage it for me. I don't like that Pokemon. It's just they always make all my least favorite Pokemon good, and it's really frustrating.
Right. All right, so we got Brady continuing to set up his board here with a couple of Hop-Ips and also the Shaman, some Natus. Sorry if the screen's looking a little overexposed. Apparently my camera does not like those white sleeves, so that is looking a little hot there right now, but it's fine. Final round, so put your sunglasses on, guys, if that's getting to you a little bit too much. I don't think that I could adjust the exposure mid-game, so.
Put your sunglasses on. Things are about to get hotter than Brady's draws.
Yep.
Like, all right.
All right, Brady going in with the turn 1 N after establishing his board with a couple Hop-Ips and another
There
Natu.
goes the Bridget and the.
I know. Now they're gone. Otto actually had the perfect turn 2 hand right
Oh,
there.
did he have the DC and the Zoroark?
He had the DC, the Zoroark, and a Bridget, which is probably exactly what he wants. Now, Otto would have really loved to have gotten a turn 1 Trubbish. That would have been really
To
clutch.
be able to actually get to lock him off the Skiplooms.
Yes, that's
And
what
like
he needs.
I'm assuming that Brady's got like Marshadows and stuff too. To keep
I
his
think
draw
he
going.
does. Yes, he does.
Is he running a Rangaroo? Or is that?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Yep.
And Trumbeak too.
And
Garbage-
Trumbeak.
That would stop being played from your hand because it's not usually something that exists in this game. So
Yes, it would.
I didn't know if randomly Garbodor didn't address that.
Yeah, I think it does. It goes like straight from the hand to the loss zone, which is weird.
'Cause I know like it stops a discard pile and play.
Yeah,
But
So-
prior to that, was there anything that actually played an ability
straight from the hand. I don't know. I feel like it always had a destination, so I'm not sure.
Right,
But,
like-
yeah. So there are things that like address the hand, like Archeops is like Pokemon cannot be evolved from hand.
Right.
Instead they can be
Chimico.
evolved through the deck, right?
Right.
Yeah, Chimico. There are certain things that address from hand, like Giratina. Your
The
opponent
EX.
cannot play. Yes, Giratina EX. Your opponent cannot play special energy from their hand. Somehow they managed to accelerate it out the discard pile. That's fine. But yeah, so Brady continuing to set up here. Third Hop-Ip. Really strong board state here from Brady. But does he find the double colorless? Or any Pokemon descent to the Lost Zone? I don't think so. This is Otto's turn, so Otto will take that for sure. Doesn't mind not losing a Zorua turn 1.
Did Natalie tell about the deck list issue?
No. We'll just. Yeah. I guess we'll have to talk about that. I haven't got a chance to stand up. So.
Do you want me to go?
Yeah, you go. You go.
Do you want to
Yeah,
tell,
you go check on that a little bit, Chris. Yeah, just make sure the judges know about that. Yeah.
I assume Natalie was in chat before, and she was kind of doing the.
Yeah. So Chris is gonna go make sure that the judges just aware of the deck list issue on JW's side. I guess before prizes are doled out, in case that would affect anything. But at this point, I guess the final round has started, so that's interesting. Alrighty then. Let's see. Otto is setting up with 2 Zoruas and a Ditto Prism Star. He's got a Tapu Lele that he will play from his hand in order to search for a supporter. And what is he going to be grabbing here? Probably a draw supporter. Just to get him some Zoroark action going on. Definitely wants to find a Zoroark in order to evolve. Yep, Colress. Definitely top choice there for Otto in order to stabilize his board. Just needs to find a Zoroark GX and a double colorless energy in order to make sure that he can take this early knockout. If he were to miss the knockout here, that would be really tough. So not what he wants to see at all.
Judges have been informed.
Okay, good stuff. Good
so
stuff.
We'll see what happens for that.
Okay, awesome. Now, yeah, I guess after the final round, I will also need, some sort of report on the rankings for the tournament so that I can kind of put down, who the top 4 was and what the decks were played. That would be good to report as well.
I believe that JW is the only
4-0.
The only 4-0.
Yeah. So he probably just is
He's playing, I believe, against Samantha, who I knew took at least 1 loss.
Okay.
Earlier.
Yeah.
So I think that means if he's getting to pair down, then.
Yeah, then he probably just is the winner. Yeah.
Hypothetically, yeah. So if he loses, and I don't know what the penalty for a legal deck list is.
Yeah, I don't know.
So that could actually come into play.
Yep. I don't know.
If that's something like a game loss. But at that point, then definitely the winner of this is in heavy contention for potentially being able to overtake a.
Right, that is interesting. So
it's not to the point where a 3-1 matchup is not really relevant to determine the winner. This is in a 5-round tournament, like breakers can break in a way where like you could definitely see someone starting 3-1 jump ahead. Especially, I think Otto started off well, right?
Yeah, both these players are 3-1. Yeah.
And I think Brady started 3-0.
Yeah.
Because I know I watched him win a Lost March Mirror round 3.
Oh, okay.
That's my friend Josh. So.
Got it. Oh, he lost round 3?
Josh lost round 3. So Brady started 3-0. So Brady's breakers are probably good.
So then what was Brady's last round?
Brady lost to whatever he played last round.
Ah, okay. Interesting. All right. So Otto gets himself some cards here off of the Colress. Got a Floatstone on the active here. He's looking for, I guess, does he have a Shaman EX there? Is pretty good. He's going to allow him to draw some more cards. Oh, yes, you can. There is a discrepancy. He's got 4 Floatstone and no Field Blowers in there. Yep, unfortunate. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yep. So
He's going to have to put in.
He's in the middle of his game.
Oh my gosh, he makes all right.
Yeah.
Very positive. It's fine.
Yep. So.
Pause it. Oh.
No, this is not.
Yep. Yeah, so the judges just came in and whisked the deck list away.
JW?
Yeah. Yikes. So this exposure is actually like really kind of.
Is it tilting you?
Yeah, it's grinding my gears. I'm gonna see if I can fix it here. And make
more
game,
or less than you think that playing expanded has tilted me.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I'm not exactly sure. We're gonna give it a shot.
It's been a very, very long time since we've won a game of Pokemon. I'm convinced.
Oh no, Chris, come on! You know it hasn't been that long.
Last weekend with Cups did not go well.
All right, there. I knocked the exposure down a notch. Let me know if that's a little bit better. Hopefully the lag's not too bad. Sometimes it lags when I do that, so that was like my major concern. But at this point, I decided that fixing it was better than not fixing it. So there we go. The white sleeves were just like blown out completely. So
I couldn't tell how many prizes JW had last time. With
it was just like looking at a big snowbank over there.
Yeah, especially on the smaller screens.
Right.
But
there we go. Otto, the Rogue Champ, finally got.
No prizes have been taken, so I guess Brady Like I mentioned Brady's hot draws, and then I don't think he hit the DCE on the first turn.
No, he didn't. And he didn't get any Pokemon in the Lost Zone. So Otto is going to be...
Well, okay. I'm sorry for that,
Yeah.
Brady. I know I jinxed that.
Yep. So it looks like Otto is just going to opt to go in with the Tapu Koko here. Not interested in taking a knockout on Natu with the Zoroark. Just going to kind of stay committed with the Tapu Koko strategy, as well as the Giratinas here. He's going to double Distortion Door with Giratina, super strong. That gets a knockout on, I think, the Hoppip, and this is a 2-prize turn here from Otto because Hoppip and Natu both have 40 hit points.
Yeah, this just has to be a nightmarish matchup for Brady, right?
Oh my gosh.
After that first turn, I don't think there's winning. I don't think you can win this. He also put down, in my opinion, he didn't know what Otto was playing.
Right.
But I think if you do, you can't put that many Pokemon down to just get flying flipped.
Right. It's tough. Brady on one side, Brady has to set up. On the other side, they all have 40 hit points. They just need a Mr. Mime there, I guess. But even with Mr. Mime, I don't think there's any saving from that. At this point, that Natu is just going to get chewed up as well. So, all right, thank you.
Back to you.
Excellent.
Whatever you have.
So, I think at this point, Brady, he has to evolve both of the Hoppips that are left on the bench. He could Floral Path away into the sky, get 4 Pokemon into the Lost Zone, but it all feels almost fruitless now. I feel like that was just such a big assault on Brady's board that just even having that Natu still there feels bad. Otto can Field Blower his own Skyfield and then get those Giratinas back into the discard pile and then pop them right back out into play to take another bonus prize on that Natu later in the game.
Yeah, no, and again, you mentioned, well, he already used Kukui, but he has Versus Seekers, obviously. But, just being able to one-shot a jump level with Kukui, with Coco.
Right. Crazy
Going
stuff.
back to the Mr. Mime discussion, though. I don't think it's not a tremendous amount of spread stuff that Mime would stop. So it's you don't really see a lot of Coco. You don't see
I wouldn't play a Mime. I personally
Exactly.
would.
I think it's this is a really fringe scenario where it's obviously really punishing him that he has no ability to really stop this.
Right.
But
I think Riley is pointing out that Otto should have targeted down the Hoppips and not the benched Natu, and I agree there. I think the Hoppip is the bigger target for sure, because
it sheds the damage.
Exactly, it sheds the damage.
Doesn't hang itself.
Tosses Pokemon into the Lost Zone. There are a lot of different benefits to the Hoppip there. That Brady's really excited that he got to keep 2, whereas the Natus are always going to sit there with the 20 damage on them for another flying flip potentially. So that is really tough there, that all that damage pretty much wiped now. And now that Brady is attacking with that active Natu, I probably won't ever hit the bench again in order for Otto to snipe with those Giratinas or anything. So I think this is probably the end of the big, bonus prize turns from Otto. I think at this point that...
and interestingly enough, though, if that's the case,
Brady could still win.
Brady could still...
He could win, yeah.
Yeah, because he can get...
He can rescue stretch of those back. Oh, yeah. For sure. I mean, unfortunately, he has to knock out the Tapu Koko.
And he doesn't have that much in the Lost Zone yet.
He doesn't. But he has just enough to knock out the Tapu Koko.
Right.
So he's got 6 down. So that's fine. I mean, really, the Tapu Koko is kind of like warm-up, and then it's just going to be, he's going to be eating dinner every single
It's also going to get kind of
of
ugly if they find a way to start resetting those...
Giratinas. Right?
Giratinas, right.
For sure. So I think, Brady's not out of it yet, especially since Otto left 2 of the Hoppips there. They both, Brady capitalized on this turn. He got them both to turn into jump bluffs. Going to let loose Otto to just 4 cards. Otto only has 1 Zoroark in play, so he's only got 1 trade out of this, while Brady will continue to establish his board. And I like getting the Oranguru here just to make sure that he can continue to kind of churn through his deck aggressively and draw cards. The Natu is going to take a knockout on this Tapu Koko here, so that's great. Really, for the next few turns, Hey, what's up, Mr. Decklist Error? How you doing there?
Hey, don't defame me as a cheater. I just wrote something wrong.
Oh, no, that's
Happens.
both
I know.
dumb F cards. So.
I know.
I
Yeah.
have seen
Yeah.
I've seen worse at the regional championship level. So that's
I've definitely
so
submitted
true.
a 58 card deck list for regionals before. So
yeah.
it was,
So
50. Really? Whoa.
it was back in 06, and I was running a bunch of one-ofs.
Oh,
and
my
I just
God.
forgot my 1/1 Steelix line.
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
So I'm like,
Yeah, yeah.
oh, and then obviously my top. They found it before top 16, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, well, this is the one match board I absolutely need
Need
this
it.
card
Yeah,
for.
yeah, yeah.
So I'm like, oh, great. That was.
all right. So Otto has got Zoroark. He evolves into Garbodor. And he is going to Colress for a huge amount of cards here.
Want me to scoot over and get in?
No,
No.
I'm sorry.
JW, also, were you able to win that last one?
I did. I was able to. You know what?
Oh.
She did not. She was playing frogs.
Okay, for
Did
Ninja.
not water duplicates.
Ah, so you just
Because
won.
she missed energy 2 times.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yes, off 2 supporters.
Okay.
So,
So you just took that one, huh?
you know.
Did you get any prize penalties or
regretfully, I did.
anything?
I got a 2 prize penalty. and I
Didn't
was
matter.
like-
She still couldn't draw
I mean,
letters off 'em.
honestly, I was like, I hope this comes back to bite me to like teach me a lesson and
Right.
you know prevent people in the future from cheating. But you know, I guess it paid off for me. So
It's almost like you were never punished.
I was not punished.
Yes, no, not
yes,
at all.
Thankfully.
Yes. All right, so
For what it's worth, I agree with the de-escalation for a league challenge.
oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And especially because it very much looks like an honest mistake. There.
It is.
Right.
Just
Like,
the two, the two,
don't know why
two
you're-
floatstones written twice, yeah.
Right. Exactly. So.
So looks like Otto, big Colress here, eyeing up his hand. He's got a board full of Zoroarks. He's got his Garbodors. Now, his Garbodor is in play, but not active. He doesn't have a tool on it yet or anything like that. I think he's just going to start trading away, gesturing towards the egg. So he's going to trade with the Execute, propagate it out the discard pile, and then use trade in order to draw more cards. So he gets to grow his hand by 6 here. Absolutely insane. And we just see how absolutely gigantic his hand is. And this is the difference between, I feel like, Pokemon and almost every other trading card game.
This is just like nonsense in like the most enjoyable way. And there's some like I also play Magic, and there's some like kind of degenerate decks.
Yeah.
But it's usually like one particular archetype that
Right.
does something like this. And I guess if you go into Vintage, for people who are a little more familiar with Magic,
Right.
you get this kind of stuff going on. But not every single deck in what is a commonly played format.
Right.
And I think that's one of the reasons I really enjoy this game. It does play very differently from most card games.
It really does. And it's like, everybody's playing a ton of cards, and it doesn't feel too broken,
Oh, it feels broken.
I mean, this Expanded feels very broken, all right? Expanded
Remember that
is
Callers
very
for
broken.
16 we were talking about earlier? The
Expanded is
hypothetical one?
Expanded very broken, all right? But Standard,
This
I
is
feel like
after
is
they
fine.
banned a bunch of stuff.
I know. I know.
You missed the days of Broken Time Space being legal. in
Oh
Standard.
my gosh. Yeah, I did. All right, so Otto will take that knockout with the Sky Return. I really like that play there.
Take the EX off the bench. Although, since Brady already took a prize, then having the third GX, and I guess, like, he's getting to the point where he's going to start being able to knock out the Lele's, and then if he gets to the KO in a Lele, then he will, the next turn, more than likely be able to get
Right.
a Zoroark. So, like, the liability of the 120 is probably not that great, and he's got a lot of GXs down.
Right. Like, I kind of get it. I mean, he's also locked things up with the Ability Garb, too, and the Choice Band.
Oh, he's super far ahead.
Yes. He is very far ahead right now. He's only got 3 prizes left to take. Brady has 4.
5.
So, 4.
Pretty sure. Is he down
No,
to 4
because
now?
he took 2 single prizes.
Oh, it's on
because-
Otto's turn right now.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
So it's on Otto's turn. So, I mean, Brady has a route, but I'm not sure that his deck can actually accomplish it. He needs to knock out 2 GX Pokemon back to back. And now Otto, doesn't play
And he's
Muscle
got
Band
a-
or anything, so
yeah.
he won't be able to like Sky Return this Natu. He needs to knock it out with a GX.
Oh, and Brady also has a Shaman on the bench, so this is pretty much that route is almost no longer existent. Like
Right.
the odds that like just having to have everything go right for him. the way
Did
we were talking
Otto
about
just
before.
trade? Did Otto trade?
It looked like he just traded.
Can we make sure that Otto's not trading with the Garbodor out? Oh, okay. Yeah. But did he hit that Field Blower off the trade?
Do you want
Okay.
to run and take care of this one?
Yeah, we make sure that JW just make sure that's hashed out. Because I didn't see if Otto draw
I
that
think
Field
we
Blower
know.
off the trade, but I think he might have. I think he's trying to show what he did. He's trying to show that he meant to trade, but like we all saw that here, and he definitely just drew 2 cards with the choice band on the Garbodor, and those 2 cards went straight to his hand. So there's no way of us knowing that.
Natalie says they've got it.
Okay.
Right here.
I guess judges are on the scene.
Maybe if there's a table judge there, is Natalie judging?
At a regional event, that would have definitely been prize penalty worthy.
Even if you had the field blower ahead of time,
there's no way
rewind it.
You can't rewind it.
I would still say there should be some form of penalty.
I think there probably should be some form of penalty as well, because there's no way the hand is blind knowledge. So like you're just asking your opponent to just say.
It doesn't even matter. Well, the difference is you saw the 2 cards.
Right.
Even then, it's like, well, that could be determining whether you want to play the field blower or not. Or
exactly.
For later.
Exactly.
Like, you're just getting free information. There's information gained. You can't
so there's at least
rewind that.
Should be a prize penalty there,
which could be a huge deal.
But I don't think that the judges will instate
this could also be.
I don't think that they will at this event. But I think at a higher level event that definitely happens. I'm not sure what happens here.
It sounded like they both agreed that he did not draw the field blower off the trade.
Okay, I guess it also depends on.
Yeah, so I think yes, there could have been a prize penalty certainly, but I think Brady was.
Brady is just
man.
like he's bigger man. He's like, all right, you know what, you had it. All right, that's fine. I get it. At a league challenge, you want to definitely just give your opponent the benefit of the doubt.
Exactly.
At a regional championship, my head is going up, and
I don't think anyone
judge.
At this point
At a league challenge, you want to get your points as quick as possible so you can stop going.
So you can stop playing the game.
Let's be honest.
Yes. No, I feel it. Finals of a regional championship, a little bit different.
Right. And this is another situation where like everybody knows each other. So it's
exactly.
There's a little more of a relaxed nature around it too.
I agree. Otto also has the Guzma on the Shaman this turn. That is just going to be, that's it. That's set and match. Knocking out this EX Pokemon here. It's going to give him 2 more prizes. Brady, 4 prizes remaining. It's not going to be able to come back from this loss.
This is even if Brady would have gotten the first turn KO, I don't think it matters.
No.
Now, again, this could be interesting where if Brady would have known who he was playing against, conserved his bench a little bit differently,
right,
then maybe this matchup isn't as lopsided. But that's one of the reasons why it pays to be the Rogue Champ.
Yes. Otto, the Rogue Champ. Now, this is...
there's no way for people to know what you're walking into. So.
Exactly. This is very cool. Nice little list that Otto and Riley kind of brewed up over the course of the past week or so. So very cool. The Giratinas and the Coco definitely showing their stuff here in this Lost March matchup. I think that is Anaheim? One of the intentions. Yes, they are both going to Anaheim. I'm going to Anaheim.
That's got streamed then.
JW is going to Anaheim. We're still working on our decks. This isn't
I think it's really impressive stuff. I like it.
Oh, nice. Well, thank you, Chris. Very cool stuff.
I mean, I was in on the stupid Mega Gardevoir deck.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, being able to do the kind of the same thing with the Giratinas here is...
Right.
Except with, like, being in the shell of a real deck.
Right.
So...
Exactly. Like, Zoroark can be whatever it wants to be, and I like that. Looks like Otto's got the win here, so gonna go ahead and
Not
take
bad for
that
a turn 1 Kukui.
Not bad. We saw Otto turn 1 Kukui twice there on stream. So even with some sketchy turn 1s, Otto able to take the win there. And the Zoroark deck's taking the League Challenge by storm.
It's almost like the card's good.
Yeah. Card's almost too good, I think.
It's one of the best cards that they've
ever printed. Ever printed. For sure. All right. So, let's see. Can we get, I don't know if we can get everybody. We can get everybody on camera here. All right. We got JW. We got Chris. All right. So, we got JW Creewall, winner of the Full Grip Games League Challenge.
All right, say it. What did I win?
Even with his deck list error.
No leaks.
Even with his deck list error here, still taking the W. Even with his prize penalty, still got there.
I need to hear it.
And we also have Chris Fulop, the winner of the Base Neo Championships here at Full Grip Games a couple months ago.
A month ago. It was Halloween.
It was,
I guess it's a month and a half.
2 months.
2 months ago.
No. You guys are just shaving weeks off of this. We can't be doing that.
I'm trying to shave weeks off of whatever I can. I turned 30 in 2 days.
Oh,
I know.
You're going to be almost as old as I am.
I know. So, anyways, great time here. JW, why don't you tell us a little bit about your tournament run, how you felt about the deck, and what your thoughts are heading forward to the Anaheim Regional Championships?
Yeah, sure. So today I played pretty much the only deck I didn't want to see was like the one prize attackers like Night March or Lost March.
Yeah.
So I didn't play quite the same list as Otto. Otto has a really good matchup, I think, against those because you can just recycle the Giratinas and then spread. And then all of a sudden you're taking...
in this match. Took 2 prizes, turn 2.
Yeah. Exactly. And then I think that's pretty crippling because then you can just kind of, they probably aren't going to get the juice for a Zoroark knockout. So Zoroark can take at least another 1 or 2 prizes.
Right.
And then, you can just...
Finish the game on a Shaman or Lele.
Finish the game on a Shaman or Lele, exactly. So, but I didn't play that version, so I was like, you know what? I'm going to cut the Coco. I'm going to cut the Giratinas. I'm like, I don't see them working very well in Mirror just because there's Sudowoodo.
Yes.
So, when your opponent has Sudowoodo, now all of a sudden things become very difficult, and you cannot recover things from the discard, so obviously. So, because
you need to set up Garbodor in order to get past Sudowoodo, so you can't actually pop the Giratinas out and get the Garb in the same turn.
Right, exactly. And so the thought with my deck was, okay, I want to just run more consistency. So in those places, I put an extra Shaman, I put an extra Choice Band, I had an extra Floatstone.
And we saw the Choice Band was just so valuable in that Mirror matchup.
Right.
I mean, Otto didn't have a Choice Band on the turn he needed it.
Right.
He was short of Pokemon here, short of Pokemon there.
Well, I just kind of found that having the extra tools was really good for attacking, but also good for
Garbodor. Yes,
also really good with Garbodor because I wasn't finding. I also cut a Bursting Balloon, so I think a lot of lists ran 2. I just ran 1 because I kind of felt like maybe a Floatstone is a better lock generally, and you also have the Clef Key, so I felt like the deck was just a little bit better for Mirror.
I really like the Let Loose Marshadow that you got going on.
Yes.
I really,
it
really
didn't
digging
actually.
that.
I know. This was I know. Andrew wants credit.
I didn't say that.
Yeah. So
I just really like it. I'm just sitting here just telling you how much I like your deck.
Well, I don't know. Andrew was playing it.
I was playing it because I saw a guy play it at a regional championships a few months ago.
Yeah, and
I loved it.
It actually never mattered.
No.
You know what? It actually no. Actually, no. I take it back. I played it one time at the end of the game for an N effect after I had like Guzma or something.
Yeah.
And it was really good.
That is what it's for.
Like that's exactly what it's for. I mean, it's not for early game. It's not necessarily, but
sometimes you go in.
It can be.
Yeah. Playing against Blastoise, sometimes you're just going to turn one Let Loose and see what happens.
I think going forward with the deck, I think I would cut everything disruption oriented. I didn't use Delinquent, which is kind of the theme.
I was kind of hyping up the Delinquent.
Oh, really?
A little bit.
Okay, I like the Delinquent a lot.
I mean, it's going to be...
I don't know this format very well, so...
Fair enough. I think Delinquent is one of those cards where you think it's going to be really good, and then you play it, and there's never really that situation where you like to have it. And even after you Marshadow, let's say you Marshadow and then Delinquent, well, they have an out. I mean, they keep the best card in their hand.
One card, yeah.
And, they might just discard useless cards. So it's very situational. I don't love it. And so I probably would cut like all the disruption and just make it gas, I might add like a second Marshadow or something, but maybe a second Garbodor. I was only playing one.
Really smooth disruption that like doesn't really like chunk up your turns a little bit while you're doing it. So and it's kind of free when you're resetting the bench a lot of times.
Yeah, exactly. The Marshadow for sure. So would I play this deck going forward? I like it a lot because it reminds me of Dallas. It reminds me of what I played. I just played a straight Zoroark deck in Dallas and did pretty well. It like feels really good to draw 4 to 8 cards a turn, and you just really thin your deck out, and then I just find that having access to all your resources whenever you want them is pretty good.
Yeah. Nice.
I've got a question for you.
Sure.
We were discussing the theoretical matchup between you and Darren.
Yeah.
When you were playing.
Of course.
Do you think you're favored in that matchup, or do you?
No, I think I'm unfavored. I don't know what he was doing.
I was questioning why I didn't get any Trebushes in play.
Yes.
To eventually.
Trash Lance.
Right,
Trash
exactly.
Lance,
I don't really know what he was
sticking around for a while.
Yeah, the Ditto was actually really big because I don't know why he didn't try to evolve it. I'm not really sure. Like, it's hard to say, what he
I'm
did
sure. I don't
wrong.
know if he also knows what you were playing exactly.
Right.
So there's a lot. Like, it's really easy because we're sitting here looking at deck lists.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And then
really looking at deck lists. But no, so it's like it's really easy for us to see how we think matchups should be approached.
Yeah.
And when you're sitting down, you're a lot more blind than that.
Well, I just think that his hand wasn't quite like what he wanted it to be. There was that turn that I end him out of a big wheel. I think that might have set him up a lot more. There was, I was able to kind of end him and get the garb set up and, just kind of lock him a little bit and actually the biggest thing in that matchup that I think helped me a lot was when I took that first knockout on the Trubbish. He promoted it. I think it was a bad decision on his part, but I mean, he did it. I could understand. He wanted a garbage collection. That's fine. But I top decked the double colorless, and then I just knocked it out. And all of a sudden, there's his biggest attacker, potential attacker off the board.
Because I feel like is it Righteous Edge the attack on?
On Drampa.
Drampa. Like there's so much passive pressure over the span of a game that you kind of have to burn resources. I'd imagine. Right. And that just feeds into Trash Lunch in the course of a long game.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's if he's able to keep two Trubbishes down, and the benches got kind of big over the span of that game, I thought. Yeah. So it feels like there should be more of a focus.
The problem with Righteous Edge is that it doesn't put enough damage pressure.
There's no pressure.
There's no damage pressure. So with a Trash Lance, you can two-shot the Zorg, and then parallel, and they can't even one-shot you back. But with Drampa, you're just letting them have a few extra turns because all you're looking for is that one turn to blow up as a Zorark player. You field blower the Garb, and then play the Stadium down, Skyfield, just get everything out.
And you only really needed to do it twice after you got that free knockout of the Trubbish.
Exactly.
Because at that point, something's hanging that you could take out, and that you don't need to assemble the Skyfield combo.
Yeah, exactly. So it was, I don't really know. I mean, it seems like a very bad matchup, I must admit, but
that's the problem. That's why, you trade and he doesn't.
That's it too. Every time that I've played a Garbodor deck, it's just kind of felt lacking. I mean,
I can't do it.
You can't do it. Yeah.
I will dead draw mid game every single time.
Yeah, and you just lose that steam.
Of it,
yeah, you just lose that steam.
It's really it's also hard to kind of predict. I like decks that once they set up, they just kind of flow. I'm a big Malamar player, obviously.
Sure.
And Zoroark is similar, but in a different way, where it's once you get your setup, the deck is self-sufficient. Yeah. You don't have to worry about not continuing to go mid-game.
Sure.
And that is what will almost always happen with Garbodor. You really have no auxiliary draw, so it's prone to clunking.
Yeah, exactly.
I just don't like playing those decks.
I agree.
All right. So, congrats, JW.
Yes, congratulations.
Thank you, Chris Fula.
Please check out my Twitch.
Yes. All right.
This is Flex Daddy Righteous
plug yourself,
on Twitch.
Can you give us a flex?
Yeah.
Not the man.
JW.
That's too fat.
League Challenge.
Man's one step from a
winner here. Also, Otto, how'd you end up?
Second place.
Second place. All right, Otto, you want to step in real quick?
Yeah,
sure.
Real quick. Yeah.
You got second.
Get Otto in here real quick, and we'll have a word with Otto. Otto, how did you feel about your deck, my man?
It was very good. Yes.
Yes. So, talk to me a little bit about it. Talk to me about what you like.
I just want to apologize to Stream for that the egregious misplay on that last.
Yeah, you were looking like a crucial sketch ball there, Otto. Yeah, trade in with the Garbodor out.
I had a huge hand.
Yeah, it looks like you got that off the trade there, Otto.
I was doing some crazy stuff, and I was like, okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna trade, or not trade. Sorry, that's what I did.
You can't.
I was gonna field blower after benching one Trubbish, so that I would knock my Tina in the discard.
Right.
And then I was gonna field blower Skyfield Floatstone. So then my boys go into the thing, then I can trade, and I can I'll put the Skyfield back down, put both Tinas back down. And then Guzma the Shaman, knock out the Shaman, and then the two Tinas would take out the not two on the bench, and I would win the check game that turn. But I misplayed because
that's okay. You get it all out of your system now, so that it doesn't happen in Anaheim.
Right. This is my first time picking up the deck and playing with it, so it felt really, really good to try and get some experience with that.
That's awesome, man. Well, congrats to both you guys. Awesome performance. Zork looking strong, headed into Anaheim here. So. Thank you all so much for helping me out with the stream. Shout out to Natalie for helping out, being a runner and all that, and keeping the tables in check. I do like that we can actually go in intervene in matches when we
Yeah,
like
that's
see
pretty good.
something
Yes.
and then send a runner. So that's nice as well. Thank you to all the viewers, the subs, the people. Thank you for watching. Appreciate it. Thank you for supporting the channel. Make sure to check out JW, like we said, Flex Daddy Righteous, Tricky Jim on YouTube as well as Twitch. Thank you guys so much. FullGripGames.com for all your TCG stuff. Peace.
All right, hey Otto, congratulations, my man.
You too, man.
Well played.
You got your points, Mr. World Champion.
I have not actually.
Here's the thing.
Hey! I haven't
Ouija's.
actually. I'm still streaming. I don't know where my mouse is at. Someone turn it off.
Andrew's hot mic.
This is going on
Somebody clip
YouTube.
this.
Where is it?
Flex Daddy Righteous.
Where's it at?
Twitter/Hindu Cow. Everybody.
Where's my mouse? Oh, I can't find my mouse, guys.